Hello, everybody. Welcome to WCBN Sports for our coverage of a little bit of softball here on a Friday. Michigan taking on the Indiana Hoosiers. I'm Zach Warshaw alongside Jaden Fode. Jaden, right off the bat, before we get into lineups as they're introducing them out here, what are you looking forward to in your last WCBN broadcast ever? What do you want to see?
I can't even believe it that this is our last WCBN broadcast ever, but I'm so glad to be doing it with you. And we have a really exciting Big Ten matchup on tap for the day. Obviously, the Indiana Hoosiers, they're sitting at 5th in the Big Ten, a 12-6 conference record. So they've had a pretty good run at the Big Ten so far. And then on the other side, you have the Michigan Wolverines who have a losing record in conference play. They're only 7-11, and they're 11th in the Big Ten. But I think this Michigan softball team is still one that has done really well this season despite that conference record. And I think they do have a good shot at this game. I think especially when I'm looking at players in this game, I have one to watch from each team. And my one from Michigan is none other than Lauren Putz. I mean, she's been absolutely incredible. Her batting average is 5th in the Big Ten this season, and she's been a huge reason for their success this year. Her home runs sit at 5th in the Big Ten. She's 3rd in the Big Ten in RBIs, so much production coming off of her bat. So I'm really looking for her in this game today. And then for Indiana, Allie Van Brandt, she has the highest average on their team. So I think two big power hitters are those two for their teams. And I think they'll be great today. I mean, they're great every time you see them. So
I couldn't agree more. We have our pink out game that happens annually here. Michigan wearing the pink jerseys. Indiana kind of joining in on the fun. They have their almost like rose pink like pants getting in on the breast cancer awareness. As the teams warm up, Michigan will, of course, start defensively. On the defensive side of the ball, it will be Erin Hain in the circle. Lily Vallimont will be behind the plate catching. The infield will go from right to left in terms of Maddie Ramey, Janelle Lacqua, Kylie Carr, and Maddie Erickson. In the outfield, from left to center to right, we got Ella Stevenson, Janisa Conway, and Lauren Putz ending out at the 9th spot in right field. For Indiana, Allie Van Brandt will lead off for the Hoosiers. We'll get into them defensively when they come up on the opposite side of the inning. But their batting order will go Van Brandt, Cooper, Parker, Josie Bird, Strader, Goins, Haberstroh, Mannon, and Kettleman. Jaden, who are you looking for besides Van Brandt, because she's the obvious Hoosier killer? Who are you looking for otherwise in this Hoosier batting order that is really going to stand out to you today?
I think one that's really stood out to me, especially as of recent, just set a program record, is Avery Parker. She's up to 48 career home runs, and just the other day passed the program record. So now that record is hers for most home runs as a Hoosier in softball history. So I think that's one to definitely watch out for. She's done great all season long. Some of her stats are really up there in, leading the Big Ten Conference in the top 10. But I think especially for her, looking for her to have a good game, because she only had 2 hits in their last Big Ten series versus Iowa, but she backed that up. Last game had 2 hits. So I think someone like her looking to have a breakout series, getting back into Big Ten play. So hoping for a good series from her, kind of pick back up in the hitting and against some of these other Big Ten teams.
Absolutely. As we're about ready to start play, Hain will step into the circle, sporting a 4.42 ERA so far this year. Van Brandt will step in, batting .421 so far this season. Left-handed batter will step into the box, and we are almost underway here in Ann Arbor as the first pitch is in for a ball. Count is 1-0.
I just realized how hard it is to see the plate from where we're sitting.
I might scoot over a tiny bit just to see the plate a little better. We are, of course, on the WCBN folding table outside here on the top of the stands. Very beautiful day, but a little hard to see the batter's box a little bit. Second pitch is high for another ball. Count is 2-0. Allie Van Brandt has started all 47 games here for the Hoosiers. As we said, she is far and away their best player. It's really not even close, to be honest with you. Again, like we said, the .421 batting average is absolutely insane. 12 homers on the year, 52 RBIs. She is just absolutely incredible as that next pitch is in for a strike. Count is 2-1 on Van Brandt. Fouls that one off. It'll be 2-2 here. Still no one out as we have our first batter of the day here from Carol Hutchins.
And there's only a few players on this Indiana team that have started every game. Allie Van Brandt, one of them, and Avery Parker and Josie Bird, two of the others for Indiana that have been in this order every single game for them.
Hayne deals it, a swung on, made contact, will be in the field, just a pop-up right in the left side of the infield. A little bit onto the grass, easily caught by Kylie Carr for the first out of the game. Coming up next will be Indiana shortstop Alex Cooper, batting .364 on the year, left-handed batter again from Mooresville, Indiana. She'll step into the plate, try to get the Hoosiers going.
Yeah, Indiana has a lot of batters in this order that are batting over 300 on the year, so a lot of consistent hitting that we see from Indiana.
First pitch is swung on, made decent contact right to left field, though Ella Stevenson is there, and she'll easily get that one. First pitch swinging, first pitch out. That brings them to 2 outs in the inning, and now Avery Parker will come up to the plate. .378 on the year, batting right-handed to try and get something going for Indiana here in this first inning. It's going by pretty quick.
Stevenson had to back up a little bit to catch that one out in left field for the Wolverines, but like you said, 2 quick outs for Erin Hayne to start this game off.
Hayne's first pitch be right across. Catcher hesitated a second. Louis Valamont was trying to frame that one up. Will be called a ball, though. 1-0 is the count with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Hayden's second pitch is in. That one's a little low. Thought it caught a little bit of the strike zone with Willie Valamont, but again, 2-0 is the count after that one's called a ball.
And Erin Hayne is coming off of a complete game versus Toledo. She pitched in the midweek on April 21st, pitched all 7 innings, gave up only 3 hits and no runs for the Wolverines.
Haynes' pitch is fouled off. Who's going to be running to get it is the first baseman, Maddie Ramey, but she's not able to get that. It was a bounce into the dugout, and so it'll remain 2-1. Or it was 2-0. It is now 2-1 after the foul off. Excuse me. 2 balls, 1 strike on Avery Parker. Again, batting .378 on the year, slugging .811. She's got 14 homers on the year. That one is swung on just fair. It's going to be caught. Great job there digging that one was Maddie Erickson. She'll just toss it over to first for Ramey, and that one will be a 1-2-3 inning for Erin Hayne. Michigan gets out of the top of the first without giving up a hit. And so we'll switch over to the other side now as Michigan comes up to bat. Score is still 0-0 as Indiana unable to get anything going in the top of the first.
Yeah, incredible diving play over there at third base. It looked like it was going to be able to sneak into the outfield. With the Maddie to Maddie connection, they're able to get the out at first base.
Maddie to Maddie connection, absolutely. So now as we flip over to the bottom of the first, let's look at Indiana defensively. It'll be Ella Trout in the circle, tossing to Avery Parker behind the plate. From right to left in the infield will go Josie Bird on first, Allie Van Brandt on second, Alex Cooper on third, and then, or on shortstop, excuse me, and then on third it will be Madeline Strader. In the outfield, it's going to be Ella Goins in center, Hannah Haberstroh in right field. Excuse me, I cannot speak English today. And then Cassidy Kettleman in left field to round out all 9 fielders for Indiana. For Michigan, Indiana Langford is going to get them started off. Then it'll be Lauren Putz, Ella Stevenson, Janisa Conway, Lily Valamont, Maddie Erickson, Kylie Carr, Maddie Ramey, and then Janelle Elakwa in the 9 spot to round out their lineup. Jaden, for Michigan's batting order, what are you looking for throughout the day to get the power going?
I mean, this batting order is so top-heavy when you look at, you know, who Michigan has, especially with Lauren Putz and then someone following her up like Ella Stevenson and Janisa Conway. Janisa Conway, I feel like, is one of the most consistent hitters on this team. And, you know, if you're looking for a home run, chances are she's probably going to give you one. So I just think having such a top-heavy lineup, having those 3 people ahead of her that can really get on base, and then have someone like Janisa Conway in the 4-hole with the pop is going to be huge, especially, you know, it's going to be a tall task for Ella Trout today. She's someone that, you know, played last year at Georgia, so this is her first season with the Indiana Hoosiers. She only made 6 appearances at Georgia last year, pitched only 13.2 innings, and she's already up to over 90 innings this season. So her role has completely shifted on Indiana this season versus when she was at Georgia last year.
First pitch from Trout is in, a little bit high for a ball. Michigan will start the day out 1-0. Indiana Langford, number 44, up to bat again to start for Michigan today. She's batting .350. Not a lot of pop, 0 home runs, but a decent batting average to start out the lineup. Get on base for Lauren Putz next, who is batting .458.
Yeah, insane.
So just a little good
Yeah.
with 18 home runs.
And Indiana Langford's a lefty. She's also a slap hitter, so you'll see the way she approaches it, and she kind of runs out of the box when she's getting ready to hit.
Next two pitches are both low. It'll now be a 3-0 count. Ella Trout with a 2.50 ERA. 10-6 on the year. Not bad, but off to a rough start in this one. Can't seem to find the strike zone yet. Trout will deal. That pitch is also up. Oh, they're going to call a very late strike
close.
there. Home plate umpire Aaron Peterson gave a little bit of a dramatic pause there before throwing up the strike sign. Count is now 3-1 on Langford. Next pitch is up. That one is also a strike, very low. It'll now be a full count, 3-2, as the Indiana Langford has watched a 3-0 count quickly dissolve now to a full one.
And something you'll see a lot with slap hitters, they don't hit for power too often, but someone like Indiana Langford, she's really fast, so that's how she gets away with this and gets on base a lot.
She's going to let that one. She started walking to first base, but she's going to be rung up by home plate umpire Aaron Peterson for Michigan's first out. Ella Trout gets a strikeout, looking to start the day off for the Hoosiers. That'll be the first out in the bottom of the first.
That's a brutal one for Indiana Langford, especially starts the count off 3-0. It looked like the fourth pitch was just barely got into the strike zone, and then she obviously thought the last pitch there was a ball. It looked like she was ready to head over to first base, but instead, Ella Trout gets her first strikeout of the day, and Michigan's already down 1.
So that'll bring Lauren Putz up to the plate. The sophomore out of Phoenix, Arizona, went to Xavier College Prep in Phoenix.
Do you know where that is?
I do know where that is. That is a very specific tax bracket.
Is it close to you?
It is about 20 minutes from where I live.
Okay.
To be honest, it's the all-girls school in Phoenix.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes. Brophy is the all-boys school. Xavier is the all-girls school.
Okay.
But it is Brophy and Xavier are both like, if you have any type of athletic promise, you're going there.
Oh, really?
For the most part. Yeah, that
Yeah.
or
Okay.
Pinnacle, which that's a public school. So a lot of kids just go to Xavier because it's private.
I see.
First two pitches are in for a ball and a strike, respectively. It is a 1-1 count on Lauren Putz, as we mentioned, just absolutely setting the world on fire with a .458 average and 18 home runs. Pretty decent to start the year.
Just pretty decent.
Next pitch is in, swung and fouled back off the bat of Putz. That'll bring it to 1-2.
And you'll see she's batting in the 2-hole today. She's mostly been in the 3 spot this entire season, but just a couple games ago, they moved her up into the 2 spot, and then you know, she's been staying there recently. A lot of teams like to intentionally walk her, so they're kind of hoping to get rid of that by moving her up and having someone like Ella Stevenson and Janisa Conway behind her. So you don't want someone on base when those two come up to the plate. So hoping, you know, moving her up to the 2 spot, she can see better pitches and kind of lessen some of that intentional walk rate that she's been seeing.
Trout will deliver. That one is high for a ball. Count is now 2-2. No, it's definitely a strategy there, because usually you want your power hitter in the 3 spot, but if you're just intentionally walking her all the time, that's not going to really do you any good. So I really like this strategy Bonnie Thole's got going on. I mean, hey, it can't hurt. Trout with the next delivery. That one is swung on and again fouled back off the bat of Putz. Count remains 2-2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, and like you were saying, kind of the strategy behind that with Bonnie Thole, it's especially when you have such a top-heavy lineup with, and you can have the luxury of having someone like Ella Stevenson and Janisa Conway bat behind her. It's not a bad decision to move her up in the order.
The deal. That is going to be swung on and missed. Putz will strike out. That'll give Ella Trout her second strikeout of the game with just 2 outs into this one. So pretty good start here for Ella Trout.
Pretty good.
2 strikeouts, 2 outs now, and Ella Stevenson will come up for the Michigan Wolverines. Try and get something going here in the first. 1-2-3 inning for Michigan. Indiana trying to replicate that on their own as Ella Trout delivers the first pitch to Ella Stevenson. That one is swung on, fouled over to the right to the roof, right on top of us right here. That one will fall off the back onto the concourse.
I would love to catch one.
And the count will start at 0 balls, 1 strike. Ella Stevenson from Algonac, Michigan. Went to high school at Algonac as well. Shout out my 2 friends, Ashley and Gabby, who are the only people I've ever met from Algonac. There are more people from there, guys. Congratulations.
I guess so.
Count still 0-2. The 0-2 deal. That one is just off the plate for a ball. Count will go to 1-2. Still 2 outs in the inning. Trout trying to deliver a 1-2-3 inning here, trying to get 3 strikeouts. She's 1 strike away from doing it. She'll kick and deal. That one is just a little bit high. Brings the count to 2-2.
Ella Stevenson working her way back into this count, hoping to keep this inning going for Michigan and for Janisa Conway, who's on deck.
The 2-2 deal. That one is swung on. Solid contact. It's going to be a little high out to center field. Out to get it there is Ellie Goins. She'll easily trap that one for the 3rd out of the inning. So both teams have a 1-2-3 first. That'll bring us to the 2nd. Indiana's got Josie Bird due up with Madeline Strader and Ellie Goins, the one who just got the 3rd out behind her. That'll be the next 3 up for the Hoosiers, as both teams unable to collect a hit there in the 1st, and we'll move to the 2nd.
Yeah, and that was the first really solid piece of contact that anyone on Michigan got off against Trout so far in this game. Obviously, the first 2 batters struck out to open it, and then Ella Stevenson just couldn't get enough under it, wasn't able to carry that one enough to the outfield. So it's an easy out in center field for Indiana. And like you said, 1, 2, 3 innings for both teams to open up this game.
Not a great start offensively for either team, but an amazing start in terms of pitching from both teams. As we enter the 2nd inning, this is a great way for me, Jaden, to just have a 7-inning vacation during finals. I mean, anyone who's come here,
my gosh,
for a game that was originally supposed to start at 6,
yes,
and was moved up because of the rain. Still a decent amount of people here that came a little early, as again, it is the softball camp weekend, and then the pink out game obviously draws a good amount of people. But yeah, a good little escape from the stress of finals for most people. You have like 1 class.
I was going to say, so I already finished my 1 final exam, and I have my other final project that happens to be a group final project. It's not done yet, but there's not really anything I can do because we're editing it on someone else's computer, so I can't do it unless we meet as a group.
I'm in the same position. Thanks, Zilke. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, we're in the same class. Yeah, so that's a later problem.
Josie Bird comes up to the plate. First pitch is in there, just a little bit low. Count will start 1-0 from the deal from Hain.
Josie Bird, another player on this Indiana team that's batting over 300. She's batting almost 350 on the season so far.
Hain's second pitch will deal. That one, Balamont thought it was a strike, framed it there and kept it for a little bit. Not enough for Aaron Peterson. It'll be 2-0 the count now. Still nobody out in the top of the 2nd inning, excuse me.
And Bird is one of the 3 players for Indiana that has started and played every single game for them this season, so it's one of their most consistent bats.
Next pitch is in for a very low strike. That'll bring the count to 2-1 on Josie Bird. From Hamlin, West Virginia, now playing for the Hoosiers. As you said, a lot of these Hoosiers batting over 350. They're a very good team this year.
They are a very good team this year.
Hain will deal. That one swung on, fouled off on the 3rd baseline. Right on the ground. Not any chance for anybody to get, especially Maddie Erickson. And so that'll bring the count to 2-2 on Josie Bird.
And not only are they a good team this year, but the past 3 years they've made it to the NCAA tournament. So they've been good for a couple years now in a row consecutively, and especially being 5th in the Big Ten this year, looking to make another run to the tournament this year.
Next pitch is swung on, fouled back off the screen. It'll remain 2-2. Yeah, they're 5th in the Big Ten, and again, at 12-6 in Big Ten play. The Big Ten is very good.
It is very good
at softball this year. Michigan, unfortunately, only 7-11 in Big Ten play. It's definitely one of the premier conferences in softball. Obviously, you want to see the SEC is probably a little bit ahead of the Big Ten, but very decent. That pitch is very high. Lily Valimon has to almost jump up to catch that one. That'll bring the count full 3-2. On deck for the Hoosiers, Madeline Strader, .316 batting average. She will await Josie Bird's decision whether she gets a hit or strikes out. That's going to be a foul over the left-hand side. Obviously, there's not the 2 options. There's a billion things you can do. I just want to be dramatic. Fouled off. Count remains 3-2 here in the top of the 2nd.
Yeah, and the Big Ten, is very competitive, especially with the addition of some of these new Big Ten teams. When the West Coast teams got added to the Big Ten, they've been doing exceptionally well in the softball part of the conference. Obviously, this season you have Oregon, UCLA, and Washington all in the top 4.
Yeah, the Pac-12 is really good at softball.
Yeah, I mean, both UCLA and Oregon were 2 of the best teams in the Big Ten last year, and obviously that trend is continuing this year. Washington getting up there with them now this year, but I mean, those West Coast teams have really shaken up this Big Ten conference and made a name for themselves.
Josie Bird calling a little bit of a timeout here. She fouled that one right off of her foot, so just want to kind of walk it off. The trainer's going to come out and make sure she's okay. She's totally fine. Just a little bit of a stinger there that she'll have to walk out. Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying she's pulling like an SGA and like flopping or anything.
Oh, please.
That's just so ridiculous. As a Suns fan, watching that is so painful.
As a non-biased fan that doesn't care about either of those teams, I agree.
Next pitch is fouled off again, back off the screen. Count remains 3-2. Josie Bird fouling off quite a few pitches here from Erin Hain, just trying to stay alive. Hain will kick and deal on the full count. That one is swung on and missed. That'll be a strikeout for the first out of the inning for the Wolverines. Josie Bird goes down swinging after a very long at-bat. And that'll bring up Madeline Strader.
And Erin Hain gets her first strikeout of the game after a quick first inning, but she didn't get any strikeouts in that one, but gets her first here with Josie Bird.
Hain's first pitch, that one is in for a strike. Starts off 0-1 on Madeline Strader. Third baseman from Cedar Park, Texas. As both teams still can't get anything going offensively. Amazing pitching job going on here from Erin Hain. Second pitch is in. That one is just a little bit high, out of the zone for a ball. Count is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the second here in Ann Arbor. It's supposed to pour later, apparently, but it's beautiful out right now. Like, it's very blue skies.
I know. Every single game that was happening in Ann Arbor today, the lacrosse, women's lacrosse, baseball, and softball, all of them got moved up because of said rain. But, I mean, I see blue skies. It's nice temperature. So, we'll see. Hoping it holds off to the end of this.
That second pitch is in. That'll be 1-2, or third pitch, excuse me. 1-2 now the count, as that one was just inside on the right side of the plate. Count is now 1-2. Here comes the pitch. That one is very high again. Dallivon had to stand up for that one. That'll bring the count to 2-2. As Madeline Strader had a good eye there not to pull a Javi Baez and just swing out of her shoes on that one.
Yeah, good take there.
Hain trying to get her second strikeout of the day. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Madeline Strader. Here comes the pitch. That one is swung on. Very solid contact down the right field line. That'll hang foul, though, off the right side. Definitely had the power just a little bit early on that one, so that'll be foul. Count remains 2-2.
Yeah, and that's like the second time today that we've seen Indiana put solid contact on. We saw the first one that went to Maddie Erickson over at third base that ended up being an out, and then that one there. But kind of both these teams have kind of struggled to put a lot of power on the bat.
Next pitch is swung on and missed. That'll be a strikeout. 2 in a row for Erin Hain. 2 Hoosiers go down swinging to start the second. And that'll bring up Ellie Goins as Bird and Strader both go down on Ks. Goins now trying to just do anything other than strike out as she steps into the batter's box. Batting .283 on the year. The lowest batting average of this entire Hoosier batting order. Still not horrible.
I was going to say, like, the fact that .283 is your lowest in your entire batting order, I mean, that's pretty good for just saying how consistent this Hoosiers batting order has been this year.
First pitch is swung on and missed. That'll bring the count to 0-1 as Erin Hain
combine
gets ready for the second pitch. She'll deliver. That one is off the right corner of the plate. That'll make it 1-1 here with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Top of the second. I keep messing that up.
That's
Excuse
okay.
me. I'll always correct myself. Don't worry, everybody. Hain gets ready for the delivery. That one is swung on. Just jammed on that one. It'll just be a pop-up to first. Easily collected by Maddie Ramey, and that'll again be another 1-2-3 inning for the Wolverines. Still no hits in this one. We'll go to the bottom of the second now as Michigan comes up to bat.
Nice and easy way for Erin Hain to get out of the inning. She gets her first 2 strikeouts of the game, and then a nice and easy pop-up makes it easy for Michigan's defense and Maddie Ramey to get the third out. And I will have the Wolverines come back up to the plate and start things off with Janisa Conway. That was one of the players that I noted at the beginning of this game that was going to be a key factor, especially having her batting 4th and now having her with the ability to lead off this inning, batting .365 on the year. I mean, she has so much pop, 12 home runs, 42 RBIs, 10 doubles, 7 triples. I mean, it feels like she can hit anything, and she's been one of the Wolverines' best hitters. She's just getting better and better every year that she plays. She's a junior now, but last year really was like her breakout season, it felt like, even though she was still good her freshman year. But, I mean, she's just been incredible for the Wolverines.
So up for the Wolverines will be, as you said, Janisa Conway, followed by Lily Vallimont and Maddie Erickson. Janisa Conway batting .365. It drops off from there. Vallimont .276 and Maddie Erickson .220 on the year. So as we said, kind of amazing that the worst hitter in Indiana's lineup is batting .285.
That's crazy.
Worst with a huge asterisk, just because the rest of the Indiana Hoosiers are doing so well. But Janisa will try to get the Wolverines going as she will start out the bottom of the second. Still, both teams looking for their first hit. Again, pitching has been great. Erin Haynes been on fire. Ella Trout had 2 strikeouts in the first of her own. Again, 2.5 ERA. Very good pitching staff here. Ella Trout.
Very good.
Doing great. 10-6 on the year. 92 innings pitched. As Conway gets ready for the first pitch. It is in. Immediately swung on. Solid contact right to the left field, though. And Alex Cooper will immediately be able to get one. She swallows that one up like Alex Earl. And it'll be 1 out in the bottom of the second.
Did you just make an Alex Earl joke? I wasn't even, oh my gosh. What did you say? Repeat it.
I said she swallows that one up like Alex Earl because Alex Cooper's playing
Alex
left field.
Cooper is literally playing. Oh my gosh. You're funny.
And that'll bring up Lily Vallimont to the plate. Right-handed batter, again batting .276 as we mentioned. As Indiana has 1 out quickly to start it. That pitch is in very high up. Avery Parker had to stand up because that'll make it a 1-0 count here in the bottom of the second.
And you mentioned earlier the ERA from Ella Trout, 250 on the year. Last year she had over a 7.6 ERA at Georgia. So, I mean, the role that she's been able to transition to here at Indiana, getting so much more production and also lowering the ERA, being much more efficient. I mean, they've found themselves a star in Ella Trout.
Count is 2-0 now. Ball on the outside in the last one. Here comes the third pitch. That one is also off the plate for a ball. 3-0. Lily Vallimont refusing to swing the bat, and it's working out for her. Good eye. The senior from Trenton, Michigan, doing a pretty good job here trying to get on base just to get anything going. No one has even stepped foot on base for either team so far. That pitch is in for a strike, just a little bit inside. It'll be 3-1. As Trout able to find the plate on that one.
This is similar to the at-bat we saw from Indiana Langford in the first inning. She was able to get ahead of the count 3-0, and then Ella Trout finally works her way back into the count, getting some strikes called, and she has her first one.
Trout delivers on that one. Oh, Lily Vallimont started off for first, but the home plate umpire Aaron Peterson's going to say it just caught the corner to bring the count full at 3-2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the second.
There's been a couple like that from Trout that have just caught the corners, and she's been getting the favorable call on all of them so far.
Trout will kick and deal from the circle. That one is swung on. That'll be fouled off just a little bit too early on that one. Will go into the training area on the right field side. Count remains 3-2. No, and Aaron Peterson, the home plate umpire, Trout's getting the calls, which is fine. But the home plate umpire, Peterson, wait a good 3 to 4 seconds before throwing up the strike symbol. And you're like, all right, we got a flair for the dramatic, I understand. But let's just kind of get the call. We're in the second inning. Let's just calm down a little.
Yeah, 0-0 second inning, and we're...
Here's the pitch. That one is fouled off right off the shin of Lily Vallimont. She'll step out of the box and walk that one off. As the count remains 3-2 still. Fouling off a couple one here as Vallimont just trying to stay alive. Here's the pitch now. Trout will deal. That one is swung on. Solid contact just over the shortstop's glove. That'll fall for the first hit of the day. Lily Vallimont gets a single just past Alex Cooper's glove there in short. And so that'll fall for the first hit of the day from either team. Michigan has a base runner with just 1 out here in the second, and that'll bring up Maddie Erickson. Batting .220 on the year, number 7, the right-handed batter. Will try to make something happen and capitalize off this one after Vallimont able to find the field of play.
It's only the second inning, and we get our first hit of the game, but it feels like it's been much longer than that with waiting for our first hit, but Lily Vallimont does so for the Michigan Wolverines.
First pitch on Erickson is just off the plate for a ball, 1-0 count. I also made a mistake earlier. Alex Cooper's playing short.
What?
And unfortunately, Cassidy Kettleman is in left field. So I could have sworn it started off differently. That one is swung on very strongly up towards the warning track. Just below it, though, it'll be caught by Hannah Haberstroh, excuse me. And so that'll be the second out. Definitely a good amount of contact out with that one. Just missed a home run. And so that'll leave Valimont on first base with 2 outs here. And that'll bring Kylie Carr to the plate. So like I said, yeah, Cassidy Kettleman left. So my Alex Earljoe kind of falling off.
You can use it again
bit.
now.
Okay, perfect.
I think that's the.
I'll come up with something else.
Okay.
Kylie Carr batting .306 with 2 outs now here in the second. First pitch swinging. That one is just popped up to left field, easily to be collected by Kettleman. That one will be caught for the 3rd out of the inning, so nothing happening with the Valimont single. And that'll end the second inning. Still nothing here, but Michigan able to record a hit. Indiana still looking for their own. They'll wait and see if they can get it here in the next top half of the inning. Hannah Haberstroh, Brooke Mannon, and Cassie Kettleman, the 3 up for the Hoosiers. We'll see if they can get anything going for Indiana. Erin Hain off to a fire start, though.
Yeah, she's off to an incredible start. And just for the Michigan Bats, you saw the one hit by Lily Valimont, but you're starting to see the Wolverines kind of get under some more of these pitches, getting some more power on the end of it. We saw Maddie Erickson just barely short of a home run at the warning track, and Indiana's able to get the out. And then you see Kylie Carr get on the end of it, get some pop under that. So Michigan's starting to get their bats on the end of more pitches than they were in the first inning. So that's a good sign for the Wolverines. Starting to see some more pop. Got the first hit of the game. So hopefully we'll continue that in the other innings and get some more, get it to fly out a little bit further for that home run, or drop a little bit sooner for the single, double, whatever it may be. But I mean, like you said, Erin Hain off to an incredible start for Michigan, getting the strikeouts up there. Got 2 strikeouts in the previous inning, struck out the first 2 batters in the second. Now she's back in the circle for the Wolverines in the 3rd inning.
Judging by the flag out in the center field, just picked up now, there's not a ton of wind going on, so if they want to get over that fence, a lot of these players are going to have to muscle it over. Whatever wind does come is usually blowing over to the right field baseline, so definitely not getting any help from Mother Nature. As Hannah Haberstroh steps up to the batter's box, we'll be ready to go here from the top of the 3rd inning. Still a 0-0 game. Michigan with 1 hit. Indiana still looking for their first. Hannah Haberstroh batting .348 so far in this year. Erin Hain trying to keep her roll going. First pitch is in. That'll be for a strike. 0-1 the count here to start the 3rd inning. Erin Hain with a second pitch. She'll kick and deal. That one is really high. That'll be a ball. Even the count up at 1-1.
Haberstroh, someone who's a sophomore. As a freshman, she only started 4 games and played in 27, but this year she started 42 out of the 46 that she's played. So her role has really increased this year in her 2nd year on the Hoosiers.
Next pitch is down low, just a little bit off the plate. That'll make the count 2-1 on Haberstroh. Erin Hain doing an absolutely phenomenal job so far. Only 2 innings pitched, however, 2 strikeouts, not a single hit allowed. Haberstroh trying to change that here. Again, batting .348 on the year. This entire Hoosier lineup is about insane. That one is fouled off behind home plate. Will go a million miles in the air off the netting. Count is now 2-2 on Haberstroh. Haberstroh, the sophomore from Greenwood, Indiana. A lot of hometown cooking here for these Hoosiers.
Yeah,
a lot of people
of it.
love playing for their hometown team. That one is going to be up high for a ball. They're going to challenge down to the third base umpire, say that Haberstroh swung. Third base umpire says, no way, not even close, which is honestly the right call. I don't know why Valimont challenged that.
Yeah.
That'll make the count 3-2. Full count here for Haberstroh. Indiana still looking for their first base runner of the day, so she'll definitely take a walk here. Let's get anything going here for the Hoosiers offensively. Hain with the deal. That one will be a little too high off the plate. Little Valimont tried to frame it up. Peterson wasn't buying it. That's going to be ball 4, and Haberstroh will earn a walk to first base for Indiana's first base runner of the day. That'll bring up Brooke Mannon to the plate. Mannon batting .367 on the year. As Erin Hain gets ready for this one. Infield very far in, expecting a bunt here. And there it is. Bunt is laid down, grabbed by Hain. She's going to toss it over to first for the first out of the inning. But Haberstroh gets over to second. And so with one out, Indiana now has a runner in scoring position. Trying to get anything going. Still not a hit, but they have a woman on second. So a great job here by the Hoosiers. And Cassie Kettleman will come up to the plate. Batting .396 on the year. Not often your 9-hole hitter is almost batting .400.
Seriously.
But the Hoosiers somehow able to figure it out. Hain with the deal. That one is bunted as well. That one will fall foul, though, as the Hoosiers trying to get Haberstroh over to third. That'll go off the left side baseline. It'll be 0-1 the count.
And this is the
as now the infield moves in, expecting Cassie Kettleman to bunt a second time.
And Haberstroh on second base, the farthest we've seen anyone make it so far in this game, despite Indiana still not having a hit.
Hain with the pinch. No bunt on this one. It's going to be swung on, fouled off the left side, off the netting. That'll make the count 0-2. So interesting strategy there, bunting on the first pitch and then just swinging on the second. Clearly just wanted to try it on the first pitch, try to catch him by surprise, and then gave up that completely.
Yeah, I think especially giving it up with Michigan now pulling their infield so far in, them kind of expecting the bunt to come after the first swing, or after the bunt on the first swing.
We're now going to get a mound visit here as Valamont calls for time and walks out to the circle for Aaron Hain. Circle visit, sorry, not a mound visit. This is softball.
Circle visit.
Maybe want to talk something over, maybe thinking that Haberstroh is maybe seeing their signs there at second base, but either way, we'll get a little bit of a timeout here to catch their breath. 0-2 is the count on Kettleman. One out here in the top of the third. Indiana still no hits, but they have a runner on second. The furthest, as you said, we've seen anyone today, so definitely trying to capitalize on that are the Hoosiers, still with only one out here in the inning.
Yeah, and Aaron Hain still ahead of the count, so she's able to attack Kettleman right here. 0-2. Still no balls, so I expect her to attack this pitch here.
That one is high for a ball. 1-2. Definitely didn't attack that one. That one was very high up there.
Not quite.
Kettleman from Amherst, Ohio. Aaron Hain with the deal. That one thought about a swing was Kettleman. She was able to hold back that one as it's just above the strike zone for a ball. Count will be evened up at 2-2. Indiana still with an out to play with. Again, only one. Kettleman trying to get Haberstroh over to third by any means necessary. That one is swung on and fouled off again over to the third base side, off the netting. Count remains 2-2.
Really working the count here, getting Aaron Hain's pitch count up. It could be especially beneficial for Indiana is just working, getting deep into these counts, especially with the way Aaron Hain's been pitching so well. She's been doing great so far. If you're able to kind of tire her out and work that pitch count up, it could be advantageous for them.
Next pitch is up very high. That'll go for a ball. Full count now, 3-2 on Kettleman as the lineup set to flip over for Allie Van Brandt, who's due up next.
And this would be a huge out for Aaron Hain, especially with the lineup turning over, getting one of the best batters in the Big Ten up to the plate next. You definitely want that second out.
That ball is again fouled off the third base side. Kettleman doing a great job at just staying alive through all these getting Hain's pitch count up, I should say, by fouling him off the third base side over and over again.
Yeah, seriously, doing a really good job staying alive in this count. And the Indiana batters have been doing a good job. Even if Aaron Hain starts leading the count off against them, they've done a really great job throughout this game, working their way back into it.
Hain with the pitch. That one is just a little bit high. Missed the strike zone by like a centimeter. And so that'll be a 4-ball count for the walk. Kettleman will go to first, and that'll bring up Allie Van Brandt to the plate. Again, batting .421 on the year. 0 for 1 to start this one, but if anyone's going to get these Hoosiers home, it's going to be Allie Van Brandt. And so Aaron Hain will have to be very careful here just on the top of the third. And now we're going to get another circle visit as everyone's going to come out here.
Yeah, you'll see the coaches start to walk out there for a meeting.
Pitch count for Aaron Hain already at 43. These Hoosiers definitely know how to work the count and stay alive for very long. We've seen a lot of full counts here to start this one. And now Allie Van Brandt, trying to capitalize on this one. She's got Haberstroh at second, Cassie Kettleman at first.
And still no hits for the Hoosiers, too.
Absolutely not. It's just been 2 walks, but Van Brandt with 52 RBIs so far this season. Definitely is going to be the person to add to this if anyone is. So Aaron Hain will have to be very careful. See what the coaching staff has said to her. Valamont will head back behind the plate. Everyone spreads back out. And Hain will look to hurl to Van Brandt here. Top of the third, just one out. Indiana still has an out to work with here with 2 runners on base.
Yeah, this will be really interesting to see how she attacks Allie Van Brandt here in this at-bat.
First pitch is so low it bounces on the ground. Valamont has to do a butterfly goalie type save to stop that one. It's going to be 1-0 to start the at-bat.
Yeah, that was a great save by Lily Valamont, too, because if that one gets behind the plate, both runners advance, and then you have both runners in scoring position for one of the best batters in the Big Ten.
Hain will kick and deal. That one bounces again. This one gets away from Valamont. Both runners are going to advance. She did the same blocking move, but this one bounced off her chest protector and off to the third base side. So now the runners move up to second and third. Count is 2-0 still with 1 out left. Everything going right for the Hoosiers so far, and they don't even have to get a hit.
No, you're seriously. And now with a 2-0 count, 1 out, and both runners in scoring position, you know, if anyone, Allie Van Brandt definitely has the green light right now to swing on these.
Pitch from Hain. That one too high. That'll make it a 3-0 count.
And if anything, they don't even need to swing at these right now.
Aaron
Hain just can't find the strike zone, so they're just able to walk their way around the bases, and especially with some of these wild pitches now that we're seeing in this at-bat, Indiana can just kind of sit back and take them and take the walks.
Van Brandt was swinging. It'll go right to first base. Ramey able to collect that one. She'll just tag Van Brandt out as she's running down the line. Held it for a second, thought about throwing it to home. But Hannah Haberstrom over there on third didn't break for the plate, and so easy second out there for Ramey. And don't look now, both 2 outs. Erin Hain has a chance to get out of this. Alex Cooper will come to the plate now. All she has to do is pretend that the ball is Alex Earl. There we go. I got my get back.
You're funny.
As she tries to salvage this for the Hain's first pitch, very low. That will start the count out 1-0 as my pen explodes in my hand because I thought my joke was so funny.
Well, that was a huge second out, though, for Michigan and Erin Hain. Maddie Ramey playing inside. You can see everyone's playing inside. They're obviously trying to go towards the plate if this ball gets put into play. But the pushed-in infield helps the second out.
Second pitch is too high after the first one was too low. That'll bring the count to 2-0. Alex Cooper 0 for 1 on the day. She flew out to left field to begin this one. Again, trying to get any contact there with the runner on second and third. So close to the first runs, even though Indiana doesn't have a hit yet. Hain will deal. That one looked very in the strike zone. Not enough for Aaron Peterson. That'll bring the count to 3-0, as that didn't catch enough of the plate to be a strike in the eyes of the home plate umpire.
That one looked good.
That one looked real.
But now Alex Cooper with the 3-0 count. Again, another player that you can expect to have the green light in this situation.
Hain's pitch. That one right down Broadway for a strike. That'll be 3-1 now. 3-1 count, 2 outs for Alex Cooper. Haberstrom on third, Kettleman on second. Indiana is trying to get a run across. Still yet to get a hit. Both players on base were walked. Erin Hain trying to get out of this one. Pitch count is over 47 at this point in the third inning. Hain deals. That one, a very late strike call. Again, Peterson with a flair for the dramatic.
Seriously.
That'll bring the count full at 3-2 for Alex Cooper. Avery Parker on deck, waiting to get a shot if Alex Cooper can find a way on base. Hain will kick and deal. That one swung on. Contact made. Flies just in between second and short. That one is caught by Janelle Alacqua for the third out. So Erin Hain able to escape. The Hoosiers strand 2 runners on second and third, and so it remains a 0-0 game heading into the fourth inning.
And way to go for Erin Hain to get out of the inning. Especially would have been an unfortunate way for Michigan and Erin Hain if that was the way that Indiana scored their first few runs, especially you saw them get on base with the 2 walks and then advance only because of the wild pitch. And Erin Hain had been doing so well in the first 2 innings, just finding control and getting a couple strikeouts and attacking the Indiana hitters. And then she just kind of lost a little bit of that control in this third inning. And that's, you know, kind of something that Michigan's been looking at for their pitchers. They've been struggling with control a little bit in the pitching, you know, with their pitching recently. So kind of seeing how well Erin Hain did in the first and second inning and then kind of losing some of that control in the third. But way to get back into it, especially after the 3-0 count. And then able to work her way back in and get the third out, keep the Hoosiers from scoring. And at the end of the day, they still don't have a hit. So still things are going pretty well for her, but, you know, the pitch count did kind of hike up there in that third inning.
Absolutely, got to keep an eye on that. As we head to the bottom of the third now, I said that was the end of the third. I cannot get bottom and top right today. I know softball and baseball, everybody. I apologize.
Okay, sure.
Bottom. Hey, I'm a basketball
kidding.
broadcaster. We know that. Bottom of the third now as Michigan will come to the and Indiana Langford up. Maddie Ramey will get them started, batting .288 to start the year. As Trout's first pitch comes in, almost swung on that one as it was super high, able to hold back as it will start with a 1-0 count. Maddie Ramey from Allen Park, Michigan, home of the Detroit Lions practice facility. And
Yes.
So a little bit of hometown cooking here on Michigan's side now. Here's a second from Trout. That one just a little low, caught enough of the plate for a strike. It'll be a 1-1 count on Ramey as Trout able to get back to even very quick. Ella Trout only 29 pitches so far compared to Haynes almost 50. So definitely a better situation here to start for the Hoosiers. That one is swung on and fouled back just a little bit off the top of the bat on that one. And so that'll bring the count to 1-2 for Maddie Ramey.
And their pitch counts were relatively similar through the first two innings. It was that top of the third that really made Aaron Haynes kind of almost double in count. So hopefully Ella Trout can get through this third inning, without the same type of damage to her pitch count that Aaron Haynes faced.
That pitch very well off the left side of the plate. Not even close, honestly. Avery Parker had to kind of slide over to the left to get that one. That'll bring the count to 2-2. Trout will kick and deal from the circle. That one swung on. Very hard drive out to center field where Ellie Goins collects it and just throws it back into the infield. But what a job by Maddie Ramey with the absolute missile down the middle of the infield. That'll be another base runner on their second hit of the day. Janella Locke will come to the plate now, batting .330 on the day as she tries to get a little bit going. Vallimont was stranded at first, couldn't get anything past her hit last time, so Locke will try to make a little bit more out of this with Ramey on first.
And Michigan has 3 outs to work with now. They get the lead runner on. It's the first time either team has had the lead runner on in one of these innings.
Home plate umpire is going to call time here. Janelle Locke must have called for it. Didn't hold her hand up or anything, just must have shouted. But either way, she'll step out and then step back in. And here's the first pitch from Trout. That one very low, almost had to be picked out of the dirt by Parker. So the count will start 1-0. Janella Locke, the last player on either side that is yet to bat yet, so this will round out the lineup for Michigan. Indiana's foot, and so it'll be thrown back into the infield after bouncing off the shoes down there, and it'll be a 1-1 count for Janella Locke. The senior from Fort Mill, South Carolina, the better half of Mitch Voigt, as most people would say.
Yes.
As Trout gets ready for the pitch, this one just a little bit high, catches enough of the plate. Again, a late call from Peterson, but that'll be a strike. It'll bring the count to 1-2. A little bit of jeers here from the crowd now. They're kind of getting sick of the late strike calls.
Seriously, it feels like we've seen them on every single at-bat so far. Especially some of these borderline ones. It gets kind of close in there. You think it's the opposite, and then home plate umpire makes you think the other way.
Now a timeout here is, I'm not exactly sure what's happening. It looked like the third base coach almost went down to the home plate umpire to say something, maybe like, why are you taking 10 years to call these strikes? But either way, so it remains a 1-2 count. 0 outs here in the bottom of the third. Janella Locke trying to move across Maddie Ramey to second as the Michigan Wolverines try to get something going. The deal from Trout. That one will be swung on, gloved away by Trout. Over to second, that's one. Over to first, she's safe. Elakwa able to beat out the double play, but Maddie Ramey will be beat on the force out at second. And so that'll be the first out of the inning. They'll just switch spots. Maddie Ramey now on third, and that'll have the lineup card flip over. Indiana Langford now up to bat. Went 0 for 1 to start. Still batting .350 on the year as the Indiana Jones theme music plays. Again, just an absolute incredible choice there by Indiana Langford. What are you going to do? Indiana Langford, she's playing Indiana. I mean, you got to, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Good pull by her.
First pitch from Trout. That one is, again, a swinging, or a running swing that'll be fouled off into the backstop. Start the count out 0-1.
Yeah, again with the slap hit there, that's what you see from Indiana Langford.
So Janella Locke will not be counted as a hit. That'll be a fielder's choice. Second pitch is very high, for a 1-1 count. In the meantime, though, Cassidy Kettleman has moved over to right field. Hannah Haberstroh over to left, so just switching sides.
That's interesting.
There in the outfield. That's what the timeout lineup card kind of discussion was for. As Indiana Langford to count 1-1 with 1 out here in the third. The deal from Trout. That one is bunted. That is a fair ball. It's going to be fired to second by the catcher. That one is out. What a throw there by Avery Parker. The second baseman, Allie Van Brandt, had to kind of kneel down to scoop that one, be able to get the force out on Janelle Alakwa. So Indiana Langford makes it to first on the fielder's choice. And Alakwa is gotten out on the force out. Kind of switching whoever's at first here.
Basically, yeah.
And now there's 2 outs here for the GOAT, Lauren Putz. As Trout tries to get out of this one. Again, no hits for Michigan in the inning. Everything coming off of a walk or fielder's choices. So still 2 hits for the Wolverines, none for the Hoosiers. Still a good outing here from Ella Trout so far. Pitch count up to 41. So slowly but surely reaching about Aaron Haynes' area.
And despite the leadoff runner for the Wolverines, she's been able to get 2 quick outs and the force outs, obviously, to get the lead runner. So like we've said, only having that runner basically stay at first, despite switching who it may be. But Wolverines not really able to make any contact past that. And not able to get the ball into the outfield either. We've had a couple of these look like they almost turned double plays, but thanks to the speed on the Wolverine side, they're able to beat out the throw at first, but not able to get anything past that.
Pitch from Lauren Putz is swung on and fouled very far out, almost to the parking lot. Lauren Putz, Michigan down to the last strike of the inning. 0-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Indiana Langford on first. Lauren Putz is trying to get something going. Third pitch is in. That one's going to be low. Avery Parker almost fired it to second like Indiana Langford was going to go. She was just walking back to first. Maybe a little bit of an intimidation tactic there. But count is now 1-2 on Putz.
And Indiana Langford's fast, so I wouldn't be surprised if
that second pitch is up so high, and Avery Parker popped up getting ready to throw it. I think they just expected her to steal. Indiana Langford, 9 stolen bases on the year. She's 9 for 10, only caught stealing once. So as you just said, very fast and very dangerous there as a threat to steal a base. And worst case scenario, if you get caught, Lauren Putz comes up to start the next inning.
Yeah.
Putz was 0 for 1 on the day. First attempt was a strikeout, trying to get back on that one. Count is 2-2 with 2 outs here as we get the deal from Trout. That one is swung on. Contact is made. It's out to right field. Will it drop? It will. In and out of the glove of Haberstrom. Around third, Indiana Langford's coming home. That'll be the first run of the day. And Lauren Putz will hold up at second as Putz gets the RBI double. And Michigan goes up 1-0 on the Hoosiers here. What a great job. Hannah Haberstrom dove for that one. She had it for a second, then it popped out of her glove. And Indiana Langford was hauling ass across all of the bases and didn't stop for anything. As you said, she's very fast. Went from first to home on that one to give Michigan their first run of the day.
Yeah, Indiana Langford, probably the fastest player on this Michigan team. And, you know, we just noted that Indiana made the defensive switch. Hannah Haberstroh goes from right field to left, or from left field to right field. And then the first play that we see comes to her. She dives for it off Lauren Putz's bat. Can't come up with the catch. And then she's just able, runs straight around the bases, doesn't stop for a second, and makes it home for Michigan's first run of the game. And you thought it looked like Indiana was going to be able to get out of the inning, but then Lauren Putz, of course, has other plans, one of the best batters in the Big Ten. And, you know, if it was going to take someone to break through this game, you almost expect for it to be Lauren Putz.
Oh, of course. First pitch to Ella Stevenson is in for a strike, and then we're getting an immediate circle visit there from the Indiana coaching staff. Stevenson 0 for 1 on the day as well. She flew out to center field. Her first attempt trying to get something going here for her. Lauren Putz again on second. 2 outs in the inning. Count 1-0 to Ella Stevenson. Michigan now up 1-0 on 3 hits. Trying to add to that one here with 2 outs already in the inning. Ella Trout. Here's the second pitch. That one is swung on. Huge contact made out to center field. Right to the center field, however. Center fielder Ellie Goins will easily collect that one. She'll just take a step back and catch it in the web. So that'll end the inning. At the end of the third, it is 1-0 Michigan off the RBI double from Lauren Putz. As you said, who else would do it?
Seriously.
That is absolutely incredible. That is Lauren Putz's 71st RBI of the year. That's absolutely
Unreal.
Ridiculous. And so we'll head to the fourth now. Up for Indiana. It's going to be Avery Parker, Josie Bird, and Madeline Strader, the first 3 up for the Hoosiers as they still look for their first hit of the game. Trying to get back into this one after Michigan has taken a 1-0 lead.
And and the 71st RBI for Lauren Putz on the year will bring her to second in the Big Ten in RBIs, and that's just absolutely insane. The first in the Big Ten is Jordan Woolery from UCLA. She has 100, which is just
that's ridiculous.
Absurd. I mean, if you
100, 100,
100, triple digits. I mean, if anyone has watched UCLA softball, you would just know how much of a absolute wagon they are.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
They feel unbeatable. Not only softball, but UCLA baseball too. I mean, they're just crushing it in baseball and softball in the Big Ten.
Not to talk about baseball on a softball broadcast, UCLA has lost one game all year, and the more you watch UCLA, the more you realize how did they lose one game?
Yeah,
because they have been absolutely nails for the entire season, and they're, as you mentioned, their softball team right behind them. In terms of sports played on the diamond, UCLA is doing a very good job this year. They are a national title contender in both sports. And with their women's basketball team winning the Natty, they have a legitimate chance to win 3
That would be unreal. That would seriously be so unreal. But yeah, Lauren put a long way to go to catch up to Jordan Woolery in the RBI category, but second in the Big Ten is no small feat. So incredible.
By Erickson, who fired it over to first, almost got Indiana's first hit, nothing doing. Second pitch is in the dirt. Vallimont had to dive to save that one. That'll bring it even. 1-1 the count now. Hain ready for the third pitch. Here it comes. That one is swung on very hard out to left field. It's out to the warning track. It's over the wall. Avery Parker gets Indiana on the board with their first hit. That's going to be a home run for the Hoosiers, and this game is tied up at 1 apiece.
Better way for Indiana to get their first hit of the game than a home run, and none other than Avery Parker, who just broke the program record for Indiana in career home runs. I mean, she hit it earlier this week, but just the fact that that's who's hitting this home run for them, she's continuing her hot streak. And, I mean, she wears that captain's jersey on Indiana for a reason.
Yeah, Avery Parker absolutely on fire. You always expect your catcher to be kind of a power hitter, but she is really coming through with that. Josie Bird up to the plate now. First pitch is in, just a little low for a ball. That'll bring the count 1-0. Bird 0-1 on the day. She struck out her first time up. Parker just a little bit above her knees. She was able to get the bat on that one and just perfectly put out to left field right over the All-Americans wall. As this pitch has also driven to center field, not as much power on that one. Easy fly out collected by Janisa Conway. So nothing going for Josie Bird, trying to replicate what Avery Parker just did. But there's Indiana's first hit. And so that'll bring Madeline Strader to the plate now.
Yeah, and a way to do it for Indiana. You know, they were struggling to bring the runners around the bases when they were going more for small ball, but then when they're able to get the power and the pop, they're able to get the home run and tie this game right up.
First pitch will bounce off of Valimont's. So it's going to be an 0-1 just because Strader swung on that one. So 0-1 on the count. Vallimont just couldn't hang on to it, but no one on base, so no harm, no foul. Here's a second pitch from Hain. This one not swung on. A little bit of power on that one. Had to pick it back up. That'll be just above the strike zone. 1-1 the count now with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Still a 1-1 game. Lots of ones everywhere, Jaden.
Seriously.
The 1-1. That one just a little high, but able to catch enough of the strike zone to be a strike. 1-2 the count now on Strader. Hain almost at 60 pitches on the day so far. Strader batting .316 on the year with 6 off on the left side. Hit in the on-deck circle. Ellie Goins, who was just warming up to go off of her calf, just kind of shake it off. That'll make the count remain at 1-2. Okay, I know we said it was beautiful before. Now I see the clouds start to roll in.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking the same thing. The blue skies are starting to go away, and the clouds over there look a little dark.
Hain with the pitch. That one swung on right in between first and second. That'll be a base hit. Fired to first by Lauren Putz, trying to catch Madeline Strader, just kind of jogging, but unable to beat her there. And so that'll be another hit for the Hoosiers, their second of the day. A single for Madeline Strader. That'll bring Ellie Goins to the plate. Goins 0-1 on the day. She has set out to second to start this one, but with 1 out here, the Indiana Hoosiers have got another thing going with Madeline Strader on first. Here's the first pitch. That one swung on a little bit. She held up, but not enough in the eyes of the home plate umpire. That'll be an 0-1 count to start this one for Ellie Goins. Goins, again, as we mentioned, batting .283 on the year, and that's the worst in this Indiana lineup. So things are going pretty well for the Hoosiers. Here's the second pitch. Plate for a ball. That'll bring the count even at 1-1. Again, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Score is 1-1 here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, Indiana was struggling a little bit early on in this game to kind of get through Aaron Hayne in the first and second innings, but, you know, since the third inning.
That's going to be batted right over. It's going to bounce over the third baseman Erickson's glove. That'll be a fair ball. It'll be thrown into the infield right as Madeline Schrader reaches third base. She'll be safe. Erickson is too late to tag her, and so that'll be a double for Ellie Goins. Hoosiers now have runners at second and third with just 1 away here in the 4th inning.
I mean, it felt like right on cue. Right before she hit, I was about to say Indiana was struggling with Erin Hayne and kind of to get on top of her in the first and second inning. But since the third, they found a lot more success working through that pitch count, getting Erin Hayne to throw a lot more pitches, and now getting on the end of the bat this 4th inning. You know, they've had all 3 of their hits in this 4th inning. They started it off with the home run, and now they have runners on second and third for the second time this game. But now they have the hits to back it up. So, I mean, keep an eye out for these runners on second and third, especially Hannah Haberstroh coming up to the plate, batting almost .350 on the year. There's really no bad option for anyone at the plate with runners in on base for this Indiana lineup, especially with basically every single one of them batting over 300.
Absolutely not. As now, out of nowhere, the rain is going to start to fall. Everyone in the stands putting on their ponchos.
I can't even see it.
I can't see it either. I just see how the crowds are reacting, and I'm assuming. Here's the first pitch into Haberstrom. That one is going to be Haberstroh, excuse me. It's going to be in for a strike. Count start at 0-1. It's definitely raining. I felt some.
Did you really?
The wind kind of blew some over to us.
It's nice to have this little covering. I honestly can't even see or feel it.
Second. Haberstroh. Still technically not with a plate appearance yet. She walked her first time up. That was Indiana's only base runner up until this inning. And now we'll get a circle visit here from the coaching staff. Again, Madeline Schrader on third, Ellie Goins on second. Haberstroh up to the plate. Only 1 out for the Hoosiers, so definitely a chance to make some damage here. Hayne at 66 pitches a little bit. Haberstroh trying to capitalize on that. She has 3 home runs on the year and 24 RBIs to go with her .348 average. So definitely great hitter to have in the 7-hole if you're the Hoosiers. As we mentioned before, the rain is starting to fall. The center field flagpole now is going a little bit crazy. So we got the weather frequently changing here in Ann Arbor. Who would have guessed Michigan having unpredictable weather?
Yeah, the fact that yesterday was 80 degrees and sunny for the entire day, and now today it's about to rain, of course. And it's probably going to rain for the rest of the entire week. Because you'll get like one sunny day that'll make you think that, oh, the weather's finally turning around and it's going to stop raining and it's finally going to be spring and summer, but no.
You'll be dying of sweat one day and then freezing the next. Yep. But that's just the beauty that is Michigan.
That is the beauty of it.
As here comes the pitch from Hayne. That one in the dirt, bounces off the chest protector of Alemont. So got to just dive in front to collect that one. That'll make it 2-1 the count. Still only 1 away here in the 4th. Tie game at 1-1, but Indiana trying to break that tie with runners on second and third. 3 hits apiece for both teams. Here's the pitch from Hayne. That one just catches the top of the plate. That'll be a strike. 2-2 the count now on Haberstroh. As Hayne tries to get out of another jam here.
Now, this is the second time she's found herself in a jam with runners on second and third and only 1 out. She was able to get out of it before, and she'll try to do the same again.
Of the night, or of the inning, I should, excuse me. That'll bring up Brooke Mannon to the plate. So Mannon with runners on second and third now, 2 away. Here's the pitch from Hayne. That one is swung on. Direct contact right to the shortstop. She'll fire it over the first. That'll be out. What a job from Kylie Carr to hit Ramey. And so Michigan gets out of another jam. Way to go from Hayne getting out of that one. So this will remain a 1-1 game. Indiana will strand runners at second and third. So what a job defensively by the Wolverines. Getting out to rough starts and then saving them to keep this game tied at 1, Jaden.
Yeah, incredible job by Michigan's defense in both the third and fourth inning to get the Wolverines out of the jam. Absolutely incredible work, both Erin Hayne, to keep the composure and be able to work out of some of those jams. She was down in some of the counts, able to work back in it, force the ground out, and get out of the inning for the Wolverines. So lucky for them, it's the leadoff solo home run for Indiana, but that's all that comes out of the inning for them. Indiana finally on the board in the run column and in the hit column. They got all 3 of their hits in this 4th inning. But tie game, so way to go for Aaron Hayne. Despite working up the pitch count, giving off the leadoff home run, and then having 2 runners on, still able to work out the jam, keep the composure, and just especially incredible by Kylie Carr to get that grounder at second and then throw it over to first, and Michigan's defense working really well behind her.
Absolutely. If you're going to give up any points, solo home run is probably the best way to do it, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
We just got the Weather Channel alert that lightning has struck within 14 miles of the stadium. What is the Big Ten rule? 10 miles?
I don't know.
I think it's 10 miles. So if lightning
Does
strikes
the internet
again,
know?
If lightning strikes within 10 miles, we might get a little bit of a weather delay here. But as it stands, Michigan's lineup for this one will coming up will be Janisa Conway, Lily Vallimont, and Maddie Erickson going up against Ella Trout coming up for her 4th inning of work. Here in the bottom of the 4th, here's the first pitch to Janisa. That one is in for a strike. She'll start the inning 0-1, the count on Conway. Ella Trout at 48 pitches on the day, 2 strikeouts. Here's the second pitch. That one very high. Parker had to stand up to catch that one. That'll bring the count even at 1-1.
Okay, I would like to bring in the information that I just discovered. So the NCAA softball rule is that if lightning strikes within 6 miles of the venue, then the game must be suspended.
I like in the MLB, I'm pretty sure it's 10 miles. So I like how in the NCAA they're like, hey, you can have an extra 4. Next pitch is in. Swing strike from Janisa Conway. Just got a little bit under that one. And so they'll bring the count to 1-2. Conway 0 for 1 on the day. She flew out to left field her first time up, sporting a .365 average with 12 homers. Trying to add to that one on this pitch. That one a little bit low. That'll bring the count even to 2-2. Still no outs in the inning. Bottom of the 4th here in Ann Arbor.
And the second part of the information that I found is that you have to resume activities, you have to wait 30 minutes after the last sound of thunder and the last flash of lightning.
Off this 4th inning. That'll bring up Lily Vallimont to the plate. She got a hit her first time up, trying to stay perfect on the day. Trying to get Janisa Conway at least over to second. Vallimont, 276 on the year with 6 homers, 33 RBIs. Let's see if she can add to that here.
And it was only a matter of time before Janisa Conway was going to get her first hit of the game. That's someone you can't keep off base for long.
Absolutely not. Thought about a steal there. They're going to pitch out to Parker, but she was ready for that one. So 1-0 the count now. Janisa Conway, a perfect 10 for 10 on stolen bases this year. She's got some speed, and Indiana is very clear of that. Obviously, that was a complete pitch out. They're trying to keep her from getting a second.
Yeah, and the way Lily Vallimont lined up for that first pitch looked like she was going to bunt.
Conway thought about stealing again as they pitch off the side of the plate. You're going to say it caught a little bit of it. And so that'll be a strike. 1-1 now the count as Vallimont was not swinging in case Conway wanted to steal. She thought about it, then held up after they pitched very off the side of the plate again. Parker expecting a steal here. Just keeps kind of getting ready to throw it. Here's Trout with the 1-1. Steal is on. That one is fouled off, however. And so Janisa Conway will have to head back to first as the count now 1-2. Conway got a honestly, probably a good thing. That was a pretty bad leap from Conway. She would have almost been stolen out. Avery Parker's got a very impressive pop time. So she's a perfect 10 for 10. Why ruin that, Janisa? Just calm down. 1-2 the count now. 0 outs here to Vallimont.
Yeah, seriously, no need to diss the 100% rate.
That one is very high. Vallimont going to swing at it anyway, though. Didn't even come close to that one. That'll be the first out of the inning as Vallimont goes down on strikes. And so that'll bring up Maddie Erickson to the plate. Janisa Conway still on first, only 1 out in this inning. Michigan has 4 hits to Indiana's 3. Maddie Erickson trying to get the 5th one. Ella Trout will kick and deal. That one just on the inside of the plate. That'll be an 0-1 count. Maddie Erickson flew out to right field her first time up, 0-1 on the day, a .220 average this year. Here's Trout with the 0-1. That one very high. Parker had to stand up, maybe expecting a steal again. Didn't want to pitch out, but just wanted to have a very obvious ball. Count is now evened up at 1-1 with 1 out as Janisa Conway gets ready for a potential steal again. She's squatting like very in the sprinter stance here. Steal is on. That one is swung and fouled off to left side again. Janisa Conway had a good jump on that one, but Maddie Erickson got a little bit ahead of it and fouled it off down the third baseline. Count now 1-2. So Janisa Conway's steals are up for the most part. But she wants to risk on a 2-strike count. Here's Trout with the 1-2. That one swung on, fouled almost directly up. It'll just falter into the stands, out of play. Count will remain at 1-2 to Maddie Erickson. Trout now at 58 pitches on the day. As now we're going to get a timeout and a circle visit here from the Indiana coaching staff. Maddie Erickson will step out and regain herself. Again, if you're just joining us, score is 1-1 tie here at the bottom of the fourth. Maddie Erickson up to bat. 1-2 count here with 1 out. Janisa Conway is on first after singling to right field. Good pitching duel from both sides. Lauren Putz doubled to right field earlier with an RBI to get Indiana Langford across. That'll give Michigan their first run. And Avery Parker for the Hoosiers homered down the left field line to give Indiana their one. That is how we've reached this 1-1 game where we're in the fourth inning and just trying to get through from the weather now. It looks like the rain is starting to get a little hard enough where some fans are abandoning the stands.
It's so interesting because I can't feel anything or barely see it.
That one is going to be fouled directly up, almost in play still, just missed by the catcher Avery Parker. Was totally in play, just misjudged that one. And so Maddie Erickson catches a break here. Count remains 1-2 with still 1 out. Janisa Conway on first.
See a lot of the fans starting to leave the stands too.
Even on the baseball side over there, you can see a lot of people ducking for
There's
cover.
like no one at baseball now.
Here's Trout with the 1-2 for what feels like the 8th time. Good job fouling off by Erickson. That one has made contact. It's going to be a little too high into right field. It'll fall down. Janisa Conway got to hurry back to first. She thought that was going. She's not going to make it. They're going to double up. What a throw by Haberstroh.
See the way the flag is blowing. You can see the trees even blowing, and I mean it's coming at us now too. Oh, Michigan will challenge the play.
Michigan challenging that play. Yes. So as it stands, that will be the end of the fourth inning with this 1-1 game after Indiana is able to double up on Janisa Conway, getting a pretty large lead out there at first. She almost went all the way to second. And after this review, I would not be shocked if this one is suspended. It probably already is after this is pouring rain.
Yeah, there's about not a single fan left in the stands. Everyone's heading out. Let's see how long this is supposed to last.
Yeah. I'm going to move my laptop a little away from the edge. We're feeling sprinkles now. Not only is it raining, but the wind is absolutely insane. The flag, as you mentioned, in center field, the flagpole is moving.
It looks like it's about to rip off.
Yeah, as we get the call from the umpire.
She's definitely out. Oh my gosh, you can hear the rain absolutely pounding.
After the review, the challenge is unsuccessful, called out, so that will be a double play for Indy.
Defense.
The umpires are meeting over on the right side here to, discuss this, and I don't even know what they're discussing. This is going to be a delay. No, because no players even come out, as you said, but in the meantime, that will be the end of the fourth inning. Whether it starts now in a second, it's not going to. And whenever we come back from suspension, as it stands, it's a 1-1 game. Whenever we do come back, Kylie Carr, Maddie Ramey, and Janelle Alakwa will be up for the Wolverines. Still a 1-1 game here. Indiana with 3 hits, Michigan with 4. As it looks like we are going to get an announcement from the umpires right now. I'm assuming about a rain.
There's no way they're coming back.
There's 0 chance. Looks like they're calling both managers to the diamond just to talk about this one, which, I mean, why would you not say, yeah, let's take a break?
Yeah.
The 1-1 game, though, it's not like you can call it, so we will see what they say here. In your Weather Channel discovery, did you see how long it's supposed to last?
No, because it wasn't loaded. So let me check again. It says next hour precipitation, at least.
Well, that all depends, because if it's a small drizzle, you can play through that.
Yeah, see, this is absolutely pouring, though.
Yeah, this is we're at Rainforest Cafe and the gorillas are shaking behind us.
There's no way they're coming back out.
No, they're not. It's just a matter of how long they want to suspend it for.
I haven't really heard.
Other than the alert on my phone that it struck nearby, I didn't hear anything. It's just heavy rain.
Yeah. Nothing like a weather delay for our last ever game.
Oh, absolutely. It's a little bit longer as now it looks like we're going to
And they're playing my favorite song, so like this is incredible.
Absolutely. The meeting at home plate is going to break up. I assume we're going to get an announcement here for the umpire any second. Now it looks like they're going to continue play. Indiana is coming out with a bat. Or I made a mistake and said it'll be up for Michigan. What I meant was for Indiana. I totally read the wrong thing. But Cassie Kettleman is coming out with a bat as if she's about to get into the box. We'll wait to see what they say. It looks like we're going to play ball, Jaden.
Heck yeah. Well, it's actually also interesting, I will say, in softball, for the whole, like, you basically have to get through 5 innings, and then you can. Well, it's also a tie game, though. Yeah. No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. So if either team were to take the lead, if Indiana were to take the lead in the top of the 4th, and then it finishes, and Michigan doesn't. I mean, basically, if either team were to take the lead at the top of the 5th, if either team were to take the lead in this 5th inning, they're technically allowed to call the game and end it after 5. So there's a chance that this could be the end of it. And that could also be part of, the conversation that they're having down there is are you guys okay calling this game if, there's a winner after 5?
That's a very astute observation. Thank you, Jaden. So as it
You're
stands,
so welcome.
We'll play ball in this torrential downpour. Indiana will have Cassie Kettleman up to lead off for the 5th inning. Then the batting order will flip over for Allie Van Brandt and Alex Cooper. All those players still looking for their first hit. As it stands 1-1, Erin Hain will come back out for her 5th inning of work with 72 pitches. She allowed a homer earlier to Avery Bradley, and they're going to still roll with her here.
Does it look like it slowed down a little bit?
A tiny bit, but still, if you look at the flagpole out, it's like shaking.
The wind at least, but the rain,
you
can't see the rain slanting through the field anymore.
Yeah, so still pouring pretty heavily, but we're back underway. First pitch is in for a ball, a little bit low there. Count on Kettleman will be 1-0 to start. I admire this one. This is a wet one out here, and everyone's like, nah, let's still play. I think you're 100% right. This one to get through 5 innings.
Yeah.
And then see past that. But the stands are completely empty at this point. Everyone up here now with us on the level. That one is going to be fouled off just into the line in third base. That's going to be caught by Maddie Erickson. Great job getting back there. Not Maddie Erickson. That was Kylie Carr who moved over to third base to get it. And so that'll be the first out of the inning. Kettleman is set down now 0 for 2, and that'll bring up Allie Van Brandt. 0 for 2 to start today, very surprisingly. She had a ground out to shortstop and then a grounder just to the first baseman who tagged her out. Here's the first pitch from Hain. That one right down the middle for a ball. 1-0 now the count on Van Brandt.
Not surprised to see Erin Hain back out for this 5th inning, especially if we're starting to see kind of the ending of this game here.
Hain with the 1-0. That one fouled back off the back screen. It'll be evened up at 1-1. 1 strike, 1 ball, 1 out here in this 1-1 game in the top of the 4th between Indiana and Michigan, to which we've gone from playing in Ann Arbor to the Amazon rainforest.
Basically, yes.
There's no other way I'd want to end it with you, Jaden.
Me either. This is so incredible.
Hain with the deal. This one fouled off again, this time over to the left side. That one will just be into the stands with a few fans there in ponchos who haven't taken cover in the concourse. That'll make the count 1-2 on Van Brandt. Hain gets ready for the 1-2. Here's the delivery. That one fouled off again over the left-hand side. Into the stands now. Rain seems to be letting up already. A couple fans returning to the stands.
Yeah, not bad.
So just typical Michigan weather, to be honest with you.
Seriously,
a torrential downpour for about 3 minutes, and then just a little drizzle, and now it's almost gone. So
yeah, and the torrential downpour that will get you absolutely soaked, and then all your clothes are drenched, and then it's like, oh, it's fine now, though. Don't worry about it.
Next pitch from Hain is good. That'll ring her up. Just caught the top left of the corner. So Van Brandt will go down looking That'll be 2 outs in the inning, and that'll bring up Alex Cooper. Erin Hain with a much more smooth inning than we've seen the last 2 times she's been out. 2 outs already to start this one. They want to get this through 5. Alex Cooper up to bat now. She is 0 for 2 to start the day with a flyout and a putout.
Another one that's a little bit surprising, seeing some of these leading Indiana hitters with no hits on the day.
First pitch from Hain, that'll be back into the concourse. 0-1 the count. Erin Hain with the 0-1. That one swung on. Very solid contact. That one's far. That one's going to be gone. Halfway up the grandstand in right field. Alex Cooper puts Indiana in the lead 2-1 off one that was going to be gone the second it was off the bat.
And that ball was absolutely crushed and almost right on cue. I said it was surprising that she was one of those players that still hadn't rung up a hit yet for Indiana. And she does just that. Absolutely launches that one into right field and puts Indiana ahead in the top of the 5th inning.
So Alex Cooper with her 7th home run of the year with 2 outs on this one. I jinxed it too. I said Erin Hain was having a very good inning. And so first pitch to Avery Parker will be 0-1. Parker homered herself to left earlier in this one. So not out of trouble yet. Indiana in the lead and now trying to add to that one with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, and the wind's really picking up, and you can see the way the flag's blowing, that it's kind of blowing out into right field. So you can't help but wonder if that's also some of the reason that this ball was absolutely crushed out of here, is the wind kind of helping it carry that way. Yeah, definitely got a little
help with that one. 1-1 the count now to Avery Parker, as the other one just a little bit high for a ball.
Because we also saw a lot of those balls that were kind of hit up there like that in the early innings that kind of just hung up there and kind of ended on the warning track, but now that one just absolutely crushed out there.
That next pitch is fouled off to the left side, right in front of the dugout for a strike. That'll be 1-2 the count now with 2 outs. Hain and Vellenmont kind of playing catch for a second there just to make sure the ball wasn't too wet. So they'll swap it out and get a new one, and Avery Parker will step back into the box. 1-2 on the day with a homer earlier, as we mentioned. Here's the 1-2. That one is swung on. A very solid drive into left. That one will be caught by Ella Stevenson. Got down to a knee and kind of slid to catch that one right before it touched the ground. About an inch between her glove and the grass, but she's able to nab that one for the 3rd out of the inning, so they'll stop it after just a homer. It'll be 2-1 Indiana leads after that half inning. Up for Michigan is going to be Kylie Carr, Maddie Ramey, and Janella Lacqua in the bottom of the 5th, excuse me.
Yeah, way to end the inning for Michigan, get out of it with only 1 run. So Indiana gets both their runs off solo home runs. We haven't seen them really be able to make their way around the bases, but when they're able to get the pop on the end of it, it's worked out for them. And unfortunate for them, they've had a couple situations where they've had runners on 2nd and 3rd and not able to bring anyone home. And of course, when they get the 2 home runs, they're solo shots, no one on base for them. But nonetheless, Indiana's still ahead in this game, 2-1.
Inning of work. When they're ready to go, Kylie Carr will be up to lead things off for the Wolverines. 0 for 1 on the day. She flew out to left field her first time up. We'll try to not replicate that one. Batting .306 on the year. Try to get Michigan back into this one. As you mentioned, Michigan now down 1 after the bottom of the 5th. It is enough to call it a complete game. So Michigan definitely wants to tie it up in this one. Obviously, you don't want to expect it's going to end after 5, but just hypothetically, you want to obviously get back before the 5th. Ella Trout will enter this inning with 64 pitches on the day. As Kylie Carr steps into the right side of the batter's box, left-handed hitter. And we are underway here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the first pitch from Trout. That one a little high for a ball. 1-0 to start. Kylie Carr, only 2 home runs on the year. Second pitch is high as well. That'll bring the count to 2-0.
Got a fan club up here with us now.
Yeah, a lot of fans ducked for cover here. Here's a 2-0 pitch from Trout. That one is swung on. Just a little bit jammed there towards the middle of the bat. It'll just float to center field, easily collected by the center fielder Goins, and so it'll be the first out of the inning, and that'll bring Maddie Ramey to the plate. Maddie Ramey 1 for 1 on the day. She had a single up the middle of the infield her first time up. Tried to get on base again. One out here in the bottom of the fifth. Here's the first pitch from Trout. That one swung on. Solid contact to right field. It has the power. It's just over the wall. Maddie Ramey has tied this one up at 2. A line drive homer to right. And we're all squared away here again off the homer from Ramey. What an absolute missile there off the bat. That'll be just her 4th home run of the year, and it couldn't come at a better time for the Wolverines.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Perfect timing for Michigan to get on the board with their 2nd run of the game, tie things up, and I mean, like you said, an absolute missile. Just the power that had coming off the bat. It was so low, but I mean, just the carry that it had and the power off the bat. I mean, I would love to know how hard that was hit because that was absolutely insane.
Yeah, the exit velocity on that one had to be very impressive as Janella Locke will come to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day. She grounded into a fielder's choice. As here's the first pitch from Trout. Running bunt there to start that one. Went past, so that'll be a strike. 0 and 1 as she couldn't make contact. Janella Locke with .330 batting average on the year. As we are now a 2-2 game again. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Janella Locke to the plate after the homer from Maddie Ramey. Here's the 0-1 from Trout. Trout swinging, makes contact right to the third baseman, and that'll be easily thrown over. What a job there by third baseman Madeline Strader to absolutely nab that one and just huck it over to the first baseman Bird. It's very routine play, but with the ball a little wet out there, you never know. But that'll be the 2nd out of the inning. And that'll bring up Indiana Langford to the plate, 0 for 2 on the day. Indiana Langford, so far, she has a strikeout looking and grounded into a fielder's choice her first 2 times up. Trying to get a little something going, get on base now. Michigan with 5 hits, Indiana with 4 in this 2-2 game with 2 outs here in the 5th. Again, the slap hit style player just kind of avoids that one. It's going to be very high for a ball. 1-0 the count here with 2 outs here in the 5th. Here's the 1-0 from Trout. That one right down the middle for a strike. 1-1 the count now. Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, we are up here in like the media level, and just when it started raining, a bunch of fans just came up. It was originally just you and me and
Alana, our good friend.
And our good friend Alana Richardson just up here, and now it's an entire fan club basically. That pitch is in for a ball. It is now 2-1 on Indiana Langford here with 2 outs. Again, hypothetically, 2-2 game here. If Michigan can get the lead after 5, it can be called a complete game if lightning strikes. That one's going to be swung on and missed. Just missed that one. As she was really aiming for the fences on that. It's going to be a 2-2 count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. No one on base in the bottom of the 5th. 2-2 game. Now we got 2s all over the place.
There you go.
Here's Trout with the 2-2. That one swung on, fouled back off the iron. What am I doing, hockey? Off the netting. It'll remain a 2-2 count.
And you know Michigan's just hoping that they can get Indiana Langford on base because coming up behind her is Lauren Putz. That's why they put her in the 2 spot. And Michigan just hoping to have another chance to get a run across in this inning.
Here's the 2-2. That one again fouled off on the left side, almost into the Indiana dugout, just hit the netting in front of it. So Langford stays alive, still 2-2. And again, right before this at bat, Cassidy Kettleman moves over to right field, Hannah Haberstroh back over to left, so they're just kind of swapping places a few times during this game. Not sure what the strategy is.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Here's a 2-2 again. That one, a kind of a bunt hit almost. It's going to be fouled off. They're going to say it was enough of a swing to not be a bunt, and so it'll remain 2-2. Won't be a third strike on that one. Still, 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. A 2-2 game. 2's wild here in Ann Arbor, bottom of the 5th. Indiana Langford up to the plate. Ella Trout still pitching for the Hoosiers in the circle. 70 pitches now on the day. Here's the 2-2. That one, no swing, just a little high. Just missed the strike zone by a millimeter. That'll bring the count full 3-2. Lauren Putz waits on deck. See if she can get a chance.
as she works the count full, hoping to get on base, and Michigan can extend this inning.
Here's the 3-2. That one, no swing, just off the corner of the plate. That'll be ball 4. And so Indiana Langford takes the walk, and that'll bring up Lauren Putz to the plate. 1 for 2 on the day with the homer earlier, or not the RBI double, excuse me. The homer was for Maddie Ramey. So Lauren Putz now, with her now 71 RBIs on the year, try to get something going to get Indiana Langford across.
This is exactly the person that Michigan wants at the plate.
This is exactly what they did earlier.
Yeah.
Indiana was on first, and Lauren Putz got an RBI that got her all the way around to try and replicate that one as Putz gets her first pitch. That one swung on. Huge contact. That one's gone. Not even close. That one clears the stands almost and just hit the fence in the back. And so not even an RBI double. That's a 2-run homer for Lauren Putz. That'll put Michigan up 4-2 with 2 outs here in the 5th. Absolute moonshot that was gone the millisecond it was off the bat. The outfielders didn't even turn around. And so Michigan now has a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 5th.
Absolutely insane coming off the bat. Another one that was just a rocket. You knew it was gone the second that she hit that. And it was exactly like you said. There was no better person that we wanted at the plate, or that you wanted at the plate if you're Michigan coming into this at bat with Indiana Langford on the plate. 2 outs, Michigan hoping they could extend their inning. Indiana Langford gets on with the walk, and Lauren Putz absolutely hammers that pitch into right center field and puts Michigan ahead. And once again, 4-2 lead. And perfect timing for them.
So that'll bring Ella Stevenson up to the plate. Stevenson 0 for 2 on the day. She's flown out twice to center field, trying to get a little something other. Even if she's just flying out to someone else, just don't fly out to Ellie Goins again is kind of her goal here. Batting .305 on the year. Has 8 home runs of her own. Trying to maybe keep this one going for the Wolverines. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th after the 2-run shot from Lauren Putz. That'll make it 4-2 Michigan. And now we're going to get a meeting here and then a pitching change for the Hoosiers. That'll be it for Ella Trout. After the 2-run shot, they'll make a change.
Yeah, and I guess this will also tell us we're playing all 7.
I guess
it seems like it,
that's
at least.
I guess that's a very good point. Which is better. You don't want to end after a 5. That always seems like kind of a cop-out.
Especially just because of it's just some rain.
And so as we now watch the warm-up, that'll bring in Taylor Hess to pitch for the Indiana Hoosiers. The redshirt junior from Augusta, Minnesota, has a 4.38 ERA this season, 7-2 in the win-loss. 51 strikeouts and 60 innings of work. Again, this Indiana team is very good, very deep. Even a 4.38 ERA is just like, if that's the worst thing you got going for you, oh well.
Seriously.
So now Hess in the circle for the Hoosiers. Ella Stevenson back into the box as we get ready to resume here. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th as Hess looks to close this one out for the Hoosiers. That one, first pitch swinging right to the shortstop, fired over to first. Alex Cooper had that one in the glove very soon. So 1 pitch out. Taylor Hess couldn't have done it any easier than that.
I mean,
and
you're
so
exactly right.
That'll end the 5th inning. Michigan leading 4-2 again after the 2-run blast from Lauren Putz. And so we'll go to the top of the 6th. Up for Indiana, Josie Bird, Madeline Strader, and Ellie Goins in the 4, 5, 6 spot for the Hoosiers. We'll wait to see if Erin Hain comes back out for a 6th inning of work in this 4-2 game.
I mean, exactly like you said, Taylor Hess comes in, does exactly what you want her to do if you're Indiana, gets the 1 out on 1 pitch, and ends that for the Hoosiers. And there we go, Erin Hain coming back out for the Wolverines in the 6th inning.
In 5 innings so far, she's given up 4 hits, 2 earned runs. She has 4 strikeouts and 85 pitches on the day, and she'll be out here for the 6th inning to try and keep controlling these Hoosiers bats. Josie Bird leading off 0 for 2 on the day. She has a strikeout and a fly out to center to begin. So she'll try to get something going other than that. Michigan now with 6 hits on the day compared to Indiana's 4. Again, 4 runs to Indiana's 2. No errors for either team. Indiana has left 4 people on base as opposed to Michigan's 2. So Some missed opportunities there for the Hoosiers as they try to get something going here in the 6th inning, down to their last 6 outs. Got to get something going if you're the Hoosiers.
Yeah, not much time left for them to work with in this game. Like you said, just 6 outs left for them. And Erin Hayne, pitch count up to 85. And that's really reminiscent of her pitch count last game. She had 88 pitches earlier this week versus Toledo, but the difference was she pitched a complete game, 7 innings in that game. So basically about the same.
First pitch swinging, that one will go into center field and drop right between every outfielder and the second baseman, Janelle Alakwa. So an immediate hit there for Josie Bird getting on base. That's the great way to start the inning. Single for Josie Bird. That'll bring up Madeline Strader as Indiana got something going now. No outs and already a woman on second.
That's exactly what you want if you're Indiana lead off this inning after giving up the lead to Michigan in the previous inning. And you have Madeline Strader coming to the plate, someone who had a single in her last at-bat.
And we're going to get our first defensive substitution of the day. Josie Bird will be pinch ran for here. They'll put in number 35, Peyton Drummond. Not much info on her this year other than she is very fast, and so they want her to get around as quick as possible as Madeline Strader's up to the plate. 1 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a single. This one is swung on, a lot of contact out to center. It's back with the warning track up over the wall. Indiana has tied the game off the bat of Madeline Strader. 4-4 the score now. Madeline Strader absolutely blasted that one to center field for her 7th home run of the year. And she'll pick up another RBI on that one. Pinch runner didn't even matter. You can walk across the bases after that one. So that'll tie this one back up at 4 in the top of the 6th. Still nobody out. As now we get a visit here in the circle.
I mean, absolutely huge home run from Madeline Strader.
That was dead center, too. That was
seriously
insane.
I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more coming into this inning down 2 after giving up the lead to Michigan in the inning prior, and then she just absolutely belts that one to center field. All the home runs that we've seen have been, like, absolute no-doubters.
Yeah, except the only one that was arguably not was the line drive shot from Ramey, but there was so much velocity on that one you knew it was going out.
Seriously.
After that meeting, Erin Hayne will still remain in this one after giving up the 2-run homer to center. Again, Peyton Drummond got in for the pinch run and then immediately just was homered home.
Yeah. It looks like the rain's starting to pick up again.
Just a little bit, but now it's tied 4-4 again.
So no ending this yet.
First pitch now, Ellie Goins into the batter's box. First pitch is low for a ball, 1-0 the count. Goins 1-2 on the day. Put out to second base her first time up, but then got a single her second time in the 4th inning. 283 batting average on the year, trying to add to Indiana's offensive onslaught so far. Still 0 outs here. The second pitch is in just a little bit low. Valamont wanted that one. She framed it a little bit. Not enough for home plate. Umpire Aaron Peterson, and it'll be 2-0 the count here on Goins. Hayne checks her wrist cheat sheet and then gets back in the circle. Here's the pitch. That one very far out the right side of the plate. That'll bring the count to 3-0. Hannah Haberstroh on deck for the Hoosiers. 0 for 1 today with a walk. Indiana's trying to get runners on base and move them across. Now we'll get a stoppage here as Goins calls timeout there in the batter's box. She'll readjust and step back in. And here's the 3-0 from Hayne. That one is down the middle for a strike. 3-1 avoids the 4-pitch walk. As you mentioned, now the rain's starting to pick up again. Very visible here. See a lot of ponchos and umbrellas at this point.
A ton. She's short bursts of storms that we've seen so far.
Here's the 3-1. That one just catches the top right corner for a strike. Count is now full at 3-2 for Ellie Goins. Again, Hannah Haberstroh waits on deck as Erin Hayne tries to get the first out of the inning here.
I was going to say, and still no outs for Indiana, so really working through this.
That one is fouled off right off of Hannah Haberstroh's in the on-deck circle. That one just caught her square in the back. She seems to be completely fine, kind of laughing at that one.
Oh, that could have been
brutal.
brutal.
She took that one right off the back and is not phased at all.
Good for her.
Count
that could have been bad.
Yeah, that could have been horrible. Count will remain 3-2. Still nobody out as Goins stays alive. Here's the 3-2 from Hain. That one swung on again, fouled down the third base line. This one a lot more closer to the line, not hitting anybody. Maddie Erickson will just go collect it and throw it out of play. As we do it again, 3-2. Still nobody out here in the top of the sixth.
Definitely picking up.
Yeah, the rain definitely. For sure. Still no lightning in the vicinity, thank God, knock on wood.
Seriously.
Here's the 3-2 again from Hain. That one swung on, fouled off of her foot. Is going, so still able to stay alive, just getting Hain's pitch count through the roof. As the count is still full at 3-2, still nobody out. So far this inning, Indiana has 2 hits and 2 runs to tie it up at hits and runs at 4 runs apiece and 6 hits apiece for both teams. Here's the pitch from Hain. That one didn't even make it to the plate. It bounced about halfway between the circle and the plate to easily put Goins on first. And so after the 2-run home run, Indiana now has a runner on first. Still nobody out here in the 6th inning. That'll bring Hannah Haberstroh to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day with a double, or sorry, not excuse me, a walk in her first attempt, then struck out swinging her second time up. 348 on the year. She got 24 RBIs. We'll try to add to that one as she has Ellie Goins on first. Rain now absolutely pouring again. You can hear it.
Yes, I feel like you can hear it through my headset.
As Hain stops, checks her wrist, and sits back into the circle. Here's the first pitch. That one faked a bunt. It's going to be over the plate anyway for an 0-1 count. As now the refs are going to call the umpires are going to call time and discuss if we want to maybe stop for this one, because again the rain is pouring. Although last time it lasted 3 minutes?
It barely, it poured for a little bit.
So the umpires will get in the middle and discuss, as it is now pouring again here.
Yeah, and you can see the baseball does not care.
Baseball
I think Michigan just scored 2 runs, a few runs. Oh, I think they might have just walked it off.
Oh
my
Michigan
gosh,
just walked it
that's
off.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
As the Michigan baseball team just walked off the Washington Huskies.
Let me look that up.
They pile onto their guy on second base. We'll look up to see who scored the winning run. Don't even tell me.
Hold on.
In the meantime, the umpires on the softball side of the complex decide this is still good enough to play. We'll resume play. Another bunt attempt is on. That'll be foul. Almost caught by Maddie Erickson to get the out. It'll just be the second strike of the at-bat. 0-2 now with 0 outs. It is getting harder and harder, they still said it's okay to play, so we'll resume. Again, top of the 6th here, tie game.
It was Jun-Sung Park.
Jun-Sung Park
doubled the left center.
Walk-off double there for Michigan baseball against Washington.
Oh my gosh. It was, the bases were loaded.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
And all 3 of them came home to score.
What a shot there by Jun-Sung Park. The 0-2 on this side is up for a ball. It'll be a 1-2 count now. Is now the home plate umpire is going to say enough is enough, and we are we're going to get a small stoppage here for the weather. As it has just gotten nothing but heavier. The wind isn't too insane yet. However, the rain is so heavy that everyone is kind of sledding around, and so we'll get a quick stoppage. As it stands right now, still no outs here in the top of the 6th inning. The count is 1-2 on Hannah Haberstroh. But we're going to get a stoppage here, a little bit of a rain delay as the umpires everyone will head off the field and into the dugouts, into the locker room. The umpires discussing maybe how long this will be. We'll let you know as soon as we get anything. While we wait for kind of decision on how long this will last, let's act weather person and check this out. According to weather, the rain is expected to stop in about 20 minutes. So
yeah, and I think they'll also play in the light rain because we saw them keep playing a little bit in the light rain. So I think it's just a matter of when the heavy rain ends.
As now it looks like the field crew is going to get out there and maybe bring the tarp on. So as the tarp comes on, we are now officially in a weather delay. That being the case, we're going to take a quick break here during the weather delay. We'll let you know as soon as we hear anything. We'll be back with you the second we are out of a rain delay. We'll be following along with UMich Softball on Twitter for the updates, as that's what they just recommend us to do. You guys can do the same, but we will be back the second this one gets out of a weather delay. As it stands, it is a 4-4 tie game in the top of the sixth with nobody out. We'll take a quick break and be back with you the second this rain is light enough to play as they roll the tarp onto the field. For now, I'm Zach Warshaw alongside Jaden Fode. Thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. With a 4-4 game, this probably isn't goodbye.
No, probably not.
We will wait and see. We'll take a quick break and be back with you soon. Thanks for listening to WCBN. right, hello everybody. Welcome back to Carroll Hutchins Stadium. We are about to exit our rain delay in just a few minutes here. It's been a very wet one today, but now it's finally cleared up. We got a little gap in the sail before the rain comes for basically the rest of the night. So we're going to try and finish out these last 2 innings of this 4-4 game. If you were not here for the first part of this, I am Zach Warshaw alongside Jaden Fode for WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball. Michigan's taking on the Indiana Hoosiers. The score is 4-4 in the top of the 6th. And let's tell you how we got here, shall we? In the bottom of the 3rd, Lauren Putz had an RBI double that scored Indiana Langford to put Michigan up 1-0. Then in the top of the 4th, Indiana responded with an absolute blast from Avery Parker, a home run down the left field line to tie it up at 1. After that, in the top of the 5th, Alex Cooper had a home run of her own to right field. That put the Hoosiers up 2-1, to which in the bottom of the 5th, Maddie Ramey had an absolute line drive missile to right field to tie it back up at 2. Lauren Putz then homered to right center. It was a 2 RBI shot. Indiana Langford scored on that one. And then in the top of the 6th, Madeline Schrader for the Hoosiers homered to center field with an RBI of her own. Peyton Drummond scored on that one. She was on first. The pinch runner that was in for about 2 seconds, not even a single pitch, and she got sent home. So that leads us to where we are in the top of the 6th now. It is 4-4. There are no outs. It is going to restart the count here. It was in the middle of an at-bat when they decided to postpone it. When we resume play, it'll be the top of the 6th. Hannah Haberstroh is going to be at bat for the Indiana Hoosiers. She's 0 for 1 on the day. Had a walk in the 3rd and then struck out swinging in the 4th inning. And that leads us to where we are right now, Jaden. Tie game, top of the 6th.
Yeah.
Really, everything we got going on.
It's been an exciting game so far and a good outing for both of these teams. It's been a lot of Indiana Langford and Lauren Putz for the Wolverines, putting up primarily all of Michigan's runs. And the two of them have been a great duo so far. We saw Erin Hain in the circle for the Wolverines, and she actually came back out for Michigan to start off that 6th inning. You mentioned we're going to start in the middle of an at-bat. So after the rain delay, I don't even remember how long did it end up being?
Let me check 1 second. I texted my mom.
Okay, perfect.
Delay, so.
But I was going to say
about almost an hour. I want to say about 45, 50 minutes.
So with almost about an hour in between, the Wolverines take Erin Hain out, who was starting off this inning for them, and then they put Gabby Ellis in her place. But, I mean, pretty understandable after a pitcher's been sitting for about 50 minutes to take them out and go with someone new. So the Wolverines will have a new pitcher in the circle for themselves to pick up in the rest of this 6th inning. But Indiana obviously starting this off with the runner on first after Ellie Goins was walked to lead off that inning by Erin Hain, and then the middle of this at-bat, so 1-2 count for Hannah Haberstroh.
Absolutely. So as you mentioned, Gabby Ellis is going to come into the circle now for Michigan. Erin Hain is done after the rain delay. Here's the first pitch from Ellis. That one is immediately swung on. Contact made into left field. It's going to be caught by the left fielder, Ella Stevenson, easily to get the first out in this inning. So Gabby Ellis comes into this game, again replacing Erin Hain, as we saw earlier. Gabby Ellis on the year, as all my papers are everywhere because we had a lot of wind. She has a 4.12 ERA, 10-5 in the win-loss column, 51 strikeouts in 83 innings pitched. As Brooke Mannon is up to the plate now, the designated player for the Hoosiers. Here's the first pitch. That one is just over the strike zone for a ball. It is 1-0.
And this is Gabby Ellis' first year with the Wolverines. She spent 2 years prior at Mercer University. She had a 2.48 ERA, 113 career innings pitched there. And she was a good player for them on that team.
Second pitch swinging right to shortstop, over to second. Now they'll send it to first. Not in time. They got one out with Ellie Goins, but they can't get the second with Brooke Mannon. And so that is going to only be 1 out. 2 outs in the inning. And now Mannon will be on first. Janelle Alakwa just couldn't get it over to Ramey quick enough, and she beat the throw by about a step. And so with 2 outs in the top of the 6th, that'll bring Cassidy Kettleman to the plate. She's 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a put out to the shortstop. Here's the first pitch. That one just outside the strike zone for a ball. Gabby Ellis, a right-handed pitcher, going up against Kettleman, who's a left-handed batter. All the defensive positions right now are the same. We'll let you know if that changes when Indiana comes to the field, but Michigan running with the same lineup they did before the weather delay. Here's the 1-0. That one really inside the plate. Kettleman had to kind of back up just to avoid being hit by it. That'll make it a 2-0 count with 2 outs here. Still a 4-4 game. Brooke Mannon on first base. Definitely a steal threat. She's perfect 10 for 10 on the year. Here's the pitch. That one just in the upper right corner. They're going to say it missed the plate by just a fraction of a centimeter. Aaron Peterson again still with a very tight strike zone. That makes it a 3-0 count. Allie Van Brandt on deck for the Hoosiers as the lineup card will flip over. She's due up next. Even 0 for 3 on the day, however. Very unusual day for Allie Van Brandt. Here's a 3-0 to Kettleman. That one misses just inside for ball 4. So Gabby Ellis comes into the game and immediately issues a 4-pitch walk to Cassidy Kettleman. Hoosiers now have runners on first and second for Allie Van Brandt up to the plate. She's 0 for 3, but as we just mentioned, she's more than due. We'll see if Hoosiers just want to do a little bunt and run to get the runners over to the second and third. The infield is in. Here's the pitch from Ellis. No bunt, just let it go right over the strike zone. They're going to miss a little bit to the left. Didn't catch that enough for Aaron Peterson. It is now a 1-0 count on Van Brandt.
Yeah, and despite being 0 for 3 on the day, this is someone that the Hoosiers, they're going to let her hit regardless, swing how she likes, especially batting over 420 on the season.
Here's the 1-0. That one is swung on. Very solid contact. Out to right field. Couldn't get it just over her glove. Collected by the center fielder, Conway. She throws it in. Indiana has 1 run in. Throw to the plate. It's safe. They get 2 on the RBI double from Allie Van Brandt. We said she was due, and she delivers. Throw to the plate was not in time. Valimont tried to make the tag, but Cassidy Kettleman was just a little too quick. It was called safe at the plate. That makes it 6-4 Hoosiers here in the top of the 6th with 2 outs.
Absolutely could not have been timed better by exactly what we were saying. You knew a player like her was not going to stay quiet for long. She was 0 for 3 on the day and then comes up with 2 outs and 2 runners on in a tie game. Top of the 6th. I mean, the Hoosiers are only down to their last 4 outs when she came up to the plate. She just perfectly places that into right center field over the outstretched arm of Lauren Putz, and she can't get to it. So the Hoosiers are up 6-4.
First pitch to Alex Cooper from Ellis. Misses the plate, 1-0. Gabby Ellis still looking for her first strike today. She's coming to the game and just thrown nothing but balls other than potentially the one that was an RBI double. Obviously no call on that one, but not the start that Gabby Ellis wanted, as now she's down 1-0 to Alex Cooper, and we're going to get a circle visit here from the coaching staff. Alex Cooper 1 for 3 on the day with a homer in the 5th inning that also brought in a run. So definitely don't want to give another one up here. 6-4 Hoosiers in the top of the 6th, 2 outs. But Alex Cooper still with a lot of power in the tank. Allie Van Brandt on second base after the RBI double. Hoosiers trying to get more than just a 2-run advantage here. Long visit here in the circle, maybe trying to develop a strategy or give some time to someone in the bullpen. You never may know, but either way, Gabby Ellis will stay in this game as she just entered.
Yeah,
and
not a great start for her.
Definitely not ideal, and she'll work to Alex Cooper. Again, Cooper, .364 batting average, 1 for 3 on the day with a home run. So definitely a threat there, obviously in the second position in the lineup. That pitch is just a little bit high, 2-0 is now the count. Ellis still trying to find the strike zone. Nothing but balls since coming up. Ellis with a 4.2 ERA. Here's a 2-0. That one is swung on and hit into center field. It's going to drop right before Putz, who dives for it. Conway collects. That'll score the run in from second. And Cooper's going to hold up at first for an RBI single. Van Brandt came all the way around from second to score. That'll make it 7-4 Hoosiers here in the top of the 6th. Still 2 outs. Ellis cannot find the strike zone, and that'll bring up Avery Parker for the Hoosiers. 1 for 3 on the day of her own right, batting .378 on the year.
Yeah, and it feels like the rain delay did the Hoosiers well. I mean, it forced Erin Hain out of this game after such a long break the Wolverines elected.
First pitch to Parker is swung on directly to the left fielder, Ella Stevenson, who will corral that one. That'll be the 3rd out, but not before Indiana strikes 3 times to make it 7-4 heading into the bottom of the 6th. Michigan not out of it, but got some work to do.
Yeah, definitely got some work to do for the Wolverines. I mean, they now find themselves in a 3-run hole after the rain delay. It seems like the Hoosiers bats kind of just woke up when Gabby Ellis came into the game. They really were taking advantage of her. And, you know, she was kind of struggling to find the strike zone, struggling to hit her spots. And the Hoosiers made her pay for that. I mean, obviously they got up quickly. They hit, I mean, both the RBIs were hit to Lauren Putz, and she kind of, the first one, an outstretched arm, it just went over her head, and then the second one, she dove a little bit, but it looked like it was a little bit ahead of her. Didn't really seem like she was going to get it, even if, you know, it was, if the dive was to her, but it was just a well-hit softball, and the Hoosiers are up now 7-4 in this game.
So on the Hoosiers side of the ball, they're going to keep pitcher Taylor Hess in the game, who before the rain delay threw a singular pitch that went from to Ella Stevenson that was for a flyout. So 1 for 1, didn't really get any work in. So it's basically she's warming up for the first time. Due up for the Wolverines will be Janisa Conway, Lily Vallimont, and Maddie Erickson, the first three in the 4, 5, 6 order to start the bottom of the 6th. It's now Michigan is down to their final 6 outs, down by 3. Obviously, they've been able to score before the rain delay. We'll see if that holds up here after, as Taylor Hess will work to those 3, excuse me. Obviously a short sample size, I should say, but Indiana red hot coming out of the delay. Michigan could not be more ice cold. We'll see if that continues on the offensive side of the ball, or they're able to bounce back after that one as Janisa Conway steps into the plate, facing Taylor Hess for the Hoosiers in the circle. Here's the first pitch. That one just inside the bottom right corner. That'll be a strike. 0-1 the count to Conway.
Yeah, and so that top of the 6th inning ultimately ends up becoming a 5-run inning. They scored 3 just there, but 2 of them came from the Madeline Strader home run that we saw before the rain delay, which ended up being a 2-run home run. So that totals to be a 5-run inning for the Hoosiers.
Second pitch is outside for a ball. 1-1 to count now on Conway. Taylor Hess, as we mentioned before the delay, a 4.38 ERA. Here's the third pitch. That one just off the corner to make it 2-1 the count now. 60 innings pitched. She has no strikeouts, but I'm looking at the wrong thing. Excuse me.
No strikeouts today.
No strikeouts today. Pardon me.
Well, actually, you're right.
I am right.
She has not struck anyone out this season.
I thought with 60 innings pitched, I thought she might have had 1. I am reading that correctly, right?
Yeah, you're reading that totally correct.
Okay, good.
No
yeah,
strikeouts on the season for her.
Tune to the count to Conway. Taylor Hess gets ready for the 5th. There it is. Swung on really high up in the air to left field. Won't be a lot of power on this one. It'll fall to left fielder Cassidy Kettleman, who will collect that one for the first out, and that'll bring Lily Vallimont to the plate.
Yeah, that one just gets caught up under. It doesn't have enough carry on it to get out of here. That makes it easy out for Cassidy Kettleman.
Josie Bird, by the way, remaining at first base after being pinch ran for before the rain delay, so no defensive changes for the Hoosiers as Lily Vallimont steps in. First pitch is down in the right corner for a strike, 0-1 to Vallimont. 1 for 2 on the day. She had a single to start out the day and then struck out swinging in the 4th inning. She tries to get Michigan back into this one. Here's the second pitch. That one is in just off the plate on outside to even the count up at 1. 1 strike, 1 ball, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 7-4 Hoosiers lead. Taylor Hess shoving to Lily Vallimont here. Hess steps back into the circle. Here's the pitch. That one a little strange coming out of her hand. Didn't come anywhere near the strike zone. That'll be a ball. Make it 2-1 on Vallimont.
That one was really low in the zone, but Lily Vallimont, a good take there to be ahead in the count. Wolverines hoping to just chip away.
Strong bat here now. It'll be directly to the right fielder, however. A lot of power on that one, but not a lot of pop, and that one will just fall right into Hannah Haberstrow's glove for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Maddie Erickson. She's 0 for 2 on the day, batting .220 on the year, as she tries to get something for Michigan going with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Taylor Hess throwing some lights out pitching right now. Maddie Erickson flew out and then to a double play. She swings on this one. It's going to be fouled out to the right side, just out of play, almost right in front of us here. It's going to bounce down to the trainer's level. And so it'll make it 0-1 the count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, 2 outs, but the Wolverines still hoping to extend this inning, get a runner on. You don't want to have to rely on the bottom of the 7th and only 3 outs to go to kind of chip your way back into this one. I mean, if anything, hoping to get 1 across the plate here in the 6th to make it a little bit more manageable.
Just
to
chip
the bottom.
away at it. You
Yeah.
got 2 more innings where you got 4 outs now to work with, but it would really help them to get 1 here as Hess steps back into the circle. Here's the deal. That one's very far off the right side of the plate. Erickson, the right-handed batter, was never going to chase that one. That evens the count up at 1. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Hess. Thought about a swing there, a little high over the zone. Going to go down to first base. She did not go around. That'll be a ball. 2-1 the count now to Erickson. Conway flat out to left. Valamont flat out to right. Erickson trying not to fly out to center here in this 2-1 count. Here's the deal from Hess. That one again, thought about swinging. That was going to be a called strike anyway. It'll be 2-2 now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
Wolverines down to their last strike in the bottom of the 6th inning. Like you said, just hoping to extend.
Hess just trying to swing at that one like it's a pool noodle, trying to make any contact to stay alive. She will be able to. It'll be fouled off into the left side of the field. So the count remains 2-2 on Erickson. Indiana now with 8 hits to Michigan's 6, winning 7-4 in this one. Here's the deal from Hess. Swung on, fouled back behind the screen and way out into the concourse. Count remains 2-2 as Erickson stays alive.
I mean, doing a good job keeping herself alive in this at-bat. Forcing Taylor Hess to kind of show her pitches here.
Hess steps back into the circle. The 2-2 deal. That one is swung on again, very far out, right to the shortstop who throws it over to Bird. Been plenty of time for the final out of the 6th. So 1, 2, 3 go the Wolverines. We'll head to the top of the 7th where Indiana has Josie Bird, Madeline Strader, and Ellie Goins coming up to bat as they try to get some insurance runs here coming into the last inning of the game. Already up 3, Indiana leads 7-4 over the Wolverines heading into the 7th.
And the Wolverines have Gabby Ellis coming back onto the mound, or in the circle for the top of the 7th inning. I mean, hoping just to see some more control from her in this inning and hoping to, keep the lead where it's at. Obviously, if you're Michigan, you only have the bottom of the 7th left to work with in this game in a 3-run deficit. So if anything, you're hoping that she can kind of keep this game where it's at.
Are you at all surprised by that move, Jaden? Like, not
a little bit.
Gabby Ellis had a very small sample size, but with all due respect, it didn't seem to go as many would have hoped.
Yeah. I mean, I think especially with trying to keep this game where it's at, you almost wonder why they don't choose to go to a different one and maybe hope, but maybe you kind of hope she's gotten it out of the way in that first inning. Not too sure, but if anything, Michigan's hoping kind of keep the score where it's at, hoping to attack these Hoosiers here and get a quick 3-up, 3-down. That would be the most ideal way, but I mean, she has a tough spot of the order coming up. She has Josie Bird coming up, who's 1 for 3 on the day, and then Madeline Strader following behind her, who's probably the hottest hitter for the Hoosiers so far today, her and Alex Cooper. I mean, Madeline Strader's 2 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBIs. She obviously had that home run right before the rain delay, and then you have Ellie Goins, who's 1 for 2 on the day. So this is probably the toughest spot of the order to have right now.
First pitch into Bird is high for a ball. It'll start out 1-0. As you mentioned, Bird 1 for 3 on the day, just a single in the 6th inning. Otherwise, she has a strikeout and a fly out to center. 347 on the year with 11 homers. Definitely has a lot of power.
Yeah.
As Ellis still looking for her first strike. Here's the 1-0. That one is in over the plate for a strike. Gabby Ellis finally gets a strike now. The count is 1-1 on Josie Bird. Ellis back into the circle. Here's the 1-1 deal. That one swung on, a lot of power out to left field. Back to the warning track. Ella Stevenson is going to watch this go over her head. It's going to hit the back of the baseball scoreboard to give Indiana another home run. That'll put the Hoosiers up by 4. It is now 8-4 in the top of the 7th inning as Gabby Ellis just cannot get anybody out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the Wolverines. I think the one thing you wanted, especially coming into the 7th inning with a 3-run deficit, was just to keep the game where it's at, exactly like we said, and then absolutely belts one into left center field. That's another one that was just gone off the bat, and you could tell. I mean, the Hoosiers have had so much power in today's game, but like we kind of mentioned, you kind of wondered, Gabby Ellis was really struggling to take command of her pitches and get these Hoosiers out. And, I mean, you see it right now. Now Coach Bonnie Thole heading out there to the circle, taking the ball from her. But, I mean, the damage has been done.
Yeah, definitely not the outing you want if you're Gabby Ellis. That will do it for her on the day as Michigan makes a change now. No outs here in the top of the 7th, just trying to stop the bleeding. Madeline Strader will be up to bat when we get back underway. In the meantime, coming in for Michigan will be Haley Ferguson. Haley Ferguson has 3.86 ERA, 1-1 win-loss on the year, only 16 innings of work. She recorded 12 appearances and 1 start last season, but very limited amount of work here, but she'll go to work. I said work 1,000 times in the past 3 sentences. I apologize. I can't find another adjective. She'll try to stop the bleeding here, as I said. Madeline Streeter will be up to bat. She is 2 for 3 on the day with a single and a home run. That has a 3-run homer, or 2 RBI, excuse me, so just a 2-run home run, but definitely not the easiest of tasks for Haley Ferguson coming into this one. But again, she just tries to play damage control and get these 3 outs and send Michigan to the bottom of the 7th to try and put something together. She gets a little time to warm up. Ferguson, the sophomore from Fairborn, Ohio. She's a pitcher and also a utility player on this one, so kind of a put her wherever you need her. As we have the Haley Ferguson fan club here with us.
I know we do. We're in some good company. Hopefully this brings Haley some good luck. And especially, I'm kind of trying to just do what Gabby Ellis was trying to do, is just keep the game where it's at. And especially with a 4-run deficit now for the Wolverines, they find themselves in a little bit of a hole to try to climb out of, and especially with 0 runs in the top of the 7th, just hoping to get through right here what Madeline Strader is probably one of the Hoosiers' hottest batters today.
Here's Ferguson's first pitch to Strader. That one's going to catch the top of the strike zone for a strike. 0-1, so a great start for Ferguson. Strader starts 0-1. Again, no outs here in the top of the 7th. Ellis was unable to record an out there before Haley Ferguson is coming to the game. She gets ready for the 0-1 deal. Pitch is just outside on the left hand of the plate. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Strader has Goins and Haberstroh behind her. As we kind of been mentioning all day, at no point in this Indiana lineup does anything get easy.
No, not at all.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one is swung on, fouled off over the left side, into the stands. Will actually go behind him and into the parking lot again. So the count is up to 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Strader. Still no outs for the Wolverines in the top of the 7th.
And I mean, it is just so rare when you find a team that has almost every single player batting over 300. And not only are they all batting over 300, but it's significantly over.
Pitch is batted right back to the pitcher, Ferguson, so she's doing it all. Was lined right back down the middle, and Haley Ferguson had just had it fall into her chest and in her glove, so she records the first out herself, a 1 putout. Not a bad job there to start off for Haley Ferguson. That'll bring up Ellie Goins to the plate. She is 1 for 2 on the day with a walk and a double. As Haley Ferguson looks to continue this honestly perfect streak. You can't really do much better than that coming into this one.
Seriously, incredibly fast reflexes from her, and way to get the first out for the Wolverines.
First pitch is over the right corner of the plate for a ball, 1-0. Ferguson, another right-handed pitcher going up against a right-handed batter in Goins. The center fielder, like we said, 1 for 2 on the day. Has only 6 home runs on the year, but 34 RBI, so a very good contact there. That one's going to be foul tipped into the glove of Valiamont, who held on to that one. Good job to keep control of that. Will make it 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here for the Wolverines in the top of the 7th, as Haley Ferguson has the 1-1 pitch. That one swung on, fouled right up into the air over on the right side of play. It's going to be tried to be collected by Ramey. She's going to be able to get it right in front of the Michigan dugout, right up against the wall. She'll be able to nab that one from going out of play. That'll be the second out of the inning.
Yeah, another huge out for the Wolverines. Haley Ferguson has come in and gotten 2 huge outs for Michigan.
That'll bring up Hannah Haberstroh to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day. It does have a walk. And here's the first pitch from Ferguson. That one is fouled off immediately off the backstop. That'll make it 0-1 the count with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Again, Indiana leading by 4, 8-4 here. Michigan is trying to get out of this inning and get to the bottom of the 7th to try to put together a couple runs. Ferguson doesn't like the ball. He wants to switch it out. So she'll get a new one, step back into the circle. Haberstroh batting .348 in the 7 hole. Here's the 0-1. That one swung on and again fouled off back to the backstop. 0-2 the count now. Wolverines a strike away from getting out of this one after a brutal start.
Way to go for Haley Ferguson to kind of work her way and Michigan's way back into this inning, kind of take control, some of that control that was missing that we saw from Gabby Ellis.
Here's the pitch. That one just over the strike zone. Vallimont framed that one, wanted the call. Home plate umpire and Peterson says not enough. That'll make the count 1-2 after that one just misses.
That was close. We've seen so many close calls today and so many that have gone Indiana's way.
Ferguson now the 1-2. That one swung on, line right in between left and center. It'll be out there, caught by Ella Stevenson as that one was just fluttering into the outfield. So Haley Ferguson comes in relief for the Wolverines and sets down all three batters she faces. Couldn't ask for a better job there if you're the Wolverines. That'll bring us to the bottom of the 7th. Up for the Wolverines, Kylie Carr, Maddie Ramey, and Janella Lacqua. Everyone, both of those first and last 0 for 2. Maddie Ramey is 2 for 2 on the day, and so Michigan will have to put something together in the bottom of the 7th. Down 4, down to 3 outs. They really got to figure something out here.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. It's a tall task for the Wolverines to come into this bottom of the 7th inning and get 4, at least 5 for the win. I mean, that's difficult. The Wolverines did have a 3-run inning earlier in this game, so you know they're capable of putting up big spots in some of these innings. But, you know, got to get through the bottom of the order, and then also the Wolverines will have the opportunity to turn the batting order over if they're able to get through these and, you know, get Indiana laying for more puts Ella Stevenson to the plate. And I think the goal for them is just small ball at this point. Chip away. Not try to do too much, passing the baton sort of approach in this bottom of the 7th inning and just, you know, slowly go one by one.
Taylor Hess will remain in the game for the Hoosiers in the circle, trying to close this one out for IU. Kylie Carr, the shortstop, will step in again, 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the first pitch, immediately swinging. It's going to be fouled out to left field, just out of play. The left fielder, Cassidy Kettleman, sprinting to try and get that one, but it wasn't going to be in the field anyway. Count 0-1 on Carr. Again, bottom of the 7th, Michigan down to the last 3 outs. Really got to get something cooking pretty quickly here, down 4. Hess looking at her wrist. Here comes the 0-1. That one again swung on, this time fouled over to the right side. Just missed the line, almost fair.
So close.
She would have probably had a hustle double if she wanted it.
Fast,
everyone was jogging at the ball. It was closer than a lot of people thought. Either way, the count now 0-2 on Carr with 0 outs in the 7th inning.
Yeah, that would have been a huge break for Michigan, especially with the speed that Kylie Carr has. If she was able to hustle that one out to second and the Wolverines could have had a runner on second, no outs, that would have been a huge start for them.
The pitch from Hess. That one is just off the left side of the plate, 1-2. Kylie Carr, the left-handed batter, wasn't going to chase that one. She steps back into the box, and we get the 1-2 pitch from Hess. That one inside this time. That'll even the count up at 2-2. Good eye there from Kylie Carr. Tried to be framed a little bit, maybe by Avery Parker, but it was so inside that Carr had to kind of back up a little bit. So 2-2 the count. That pitch from Hess just over the left corner. Again, framed by Avery Parker. She wanted the call. Not enough for Aaron Peterson, the home plate umpire, and so now we're full at 3-2. Maddie Ramey waits on deck. She's 2 for 2 on the day. She awaits to see if Kylie Carr can get on base. The full count pitch. That one is swung on, driven to center field, way too high, not enough power on that one. Will fall to center fielder Ellie Goins, and the first Michigan batter of the inning is retired, and Kylie Carr. That is a 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Maddie Ramey now comes to the plate. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Michigan trying to put anything together. They're down to their last 2 outs. Maddie Ramey with a single and a home run here in this one. Trying to add on to her phenomenal day so far.
Yeah, incredible day for her so far.
First pitch is down in the right corner. Misses just a little bit outside. 1-0 the count now. 1 out to Maddie Ramey.
Just hoping that she can get ahead of this count with Taylor Hess and then see some pitches that she likes down in the strike zone for her to hopefully make contact on like she has done all day.
She makes contact there, but just a little ahead of that one as it's fouled off to the right side and out of play for a foul ball that'll even the count up at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Maddie Ramey, the right-handed batter, or the left-handed batter, excuse me, going up against a left-handed pitcher in Hess. It's a little bit ahead of that one. The 1-1 now from Taylor Hess. Thought about a swing there was Ramey. She held back, but it's going to be called a strike anyway. It'll now be 1-2 with 1 out.
Well, it took a great pitch there from Taylor Hess. You have to assume Maddie Ramey will start to be aggressive on these, especially with 2 strikes.
Swinging on that one, fouled it off to the backstop. Just got a piece of that one to stay alive. Count remains 1-2. And Maddie Ramey is very thankful for that one. She just got the very tip of the ball to get it back into the netting behind the catcher.
And I still think she'll continue to be aggressive on these if she sees a pitch that she likes, especially down in the count 1-2. And Taylor Hess is also probably going to try to attack her, so I'm assuming you'll see a strike on this one.
The 1-2 from Hess. That one thought about a swing. She held up. It's going to be off the plate. Both Hess and Parker wanted that one. Aaron Peterson says no, not close enough. It's going to be evened up at 2-2 now, the count. Here's the 2-2. That one very high. Parker almost had to stand up for that one. So now the count is full again at 3-2 for Maddie Ramey. Janelle Alakwa on deck. She's 0 for 2 on the day, waiting to see if Maddie Ramey can get on, maybe get something to work with here. The full count pitch. Swung on, driven into the middle. That'll be past the infielders and drop for a base hit. It'll roll all the way to the center fielder. Goins just throws it back into the infield. But Maddie Ramey has a single, and Michigan has something going here with 1 out.
Maddie Ramey 3 for 3 on the day. What a performance from her today. An incredible showing for her. I mean, way to keep Michigan in this game. Give them another life. Still only 1 out and a runner on now for Janelle Alakwa. Just incredible piece of hitting from Maddie Ramey on that and all day today.
Alakwa 0 for 2 on the day. Trying to change that one up when it matters most with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the first pitch. That one is way too high. That'll be a ball. 1-0 the count now for Alakwa. Again, Maddie Ramey on first. Taylor Hess looking at her cheat sheet on her wrist, trying to figure out how to deal to the right-handed batter. Here's the 1-0. That one swung on, just fouled off into the right side of the field. It'll land in the trainer's spot there on the right side. It'll be evened up at 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Michigan down 4. A runner on, Alakwa at the plate. Hess steps back into the circle. Here's the 1-1. Thought about a swing, held up on that one, just off the plate outside. That'll make it a 2-1 count now for Alakwa.
Michigan's been very disciplined so far. You saw it with Maddie Ramey. Now you see it again with Janelle Alakwa, forcing Taylor Hess to throw them good pitches.
That is swung on and hit. It goes to right field, just foul. Maddie Ramey was ready to sprint on that one, but it'll land out of play and make the count 2-2 now for Alakwa. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Alakwa at the plate. Maddie Ramey on first. Michigan trying to get something going.
We've seen it from all 3 batters so far in this inning. Kylie Carr, despite getting out, and then Maddie Ramey and Janelle Alakwa all putting good swings on these pitches, getting the ball in play. Maddie Ramey obviously able to get the single.
That one swung on, driven right to the shortstop. Alex Cooper, who was waiting for that one, she didn't have to move. She just caught it, and that makes Michigan down to their final out of the evening. Indiana Langford will come to the plate. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Michigan down by 4. Maddie Ramey on first. But Michigan's going to need a few hits down to their last out here. Indiana Langford 0 for 2 on the day. She does have a walk in the 5th, but she's looking for a base hit here.
I'm just hoping for anything to keep this game going. But obviously, like you said, Michigan down to their last out.
Lefty on lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch from Hess. Again, the slap batter. Springs it up for that one. No swing on that one. It'll be a little high above the strike zone for a ball. 1-0 the count. Second one is in, just catches the bottom left corner of the plate. That'll even the count up at 1 apiece. 1 ball, 1 strike. Down to their last out of the Wolverines, down by 4. They're going to need a lot of help here, and it starts with Indiana Langford. 350 batting average on the year. That one, again, is slapped right. It'll be fouled off to the left side, and that gets Michigan down to their last strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Indiana Langford. That one was going to go into the Indiana dugout if there wasn't a screen there. Taylor Hess trying to get the final strike here to put Michigan away here on this rain-delayed Friday game. Here's the pitch. That one off the plate for a ball. That'll even the count up at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hess is trying to get the final strike here for the Hoosiers. Indiana Langford trying to keep Michigan alive. Here's the 2-2. That one swung on, hit right in front of the plate. That's going to bounce foul. And so it'll remain a 2-2 count. Langford stays alive. And we'll do it again.
A lucky bounce there that favored the Hoosiers. You can see the absolute speed that Indiana Langford runs down the bases with. I mean, she's someone that if she puts the ball in play, there's a high likelihood that she will outrun it on the way to first base.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on, hit right in front to try to beat out the throws. The fielder has no play. What a hustle job by Indiana Langford. As we've discussed, she is one of the quickest players on this team. Absolutely incredible job. Madeline Strader, the third baseman, had nothing to do other than just sit on it. And so that's going to put 2 runners on, and that'll bring up Lauren Putz to the plate. Again, down by 4. Still not the tying run in Lauren Putz, but she can definitely close this gap. 458 on the year with 18 home runs.
Yeah, and I know it's a hard situation because this feels like a time where you would want to put her on base and not have her bat, especially with the way she's played so far today. But you don't want to put the tying run.
She'll slap that one on the first pitch. It's going to be skied out to center field, easily collected by the center fielder. Very anticlimactic on that one.
Yeah.
Ellie Goins collects it for the third and final out. So after a 52-minute rain delay, Indiana comes out of the delay absolutely swinging, and they will defeat the Michigan Wolverines 8-4 here on this very damp Friday afternoon game.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana puts up a 5 spot in the 6th inning, 2 before the rain delay, 3 after the rain delay. So they just had everything going for them in that 5th inning. It feels like they came out with just incredible spark after the 50 minutes or so that we were waiting in between games. And just absolutely incredible work by them to battle back in this one and come away with the win.
Absolutely. So the final line score tonight, Indiana 8 runs on 9 hits, no errors, and 5 women left on base. For Michigan, 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 4 women left on base. So just, again, outplayed after the rain delay. Very unfortunate outing. I'm looking to see the scorecard here. I'm assuming the loss is going to go to Gabby Ellis, but we'll wait and see.
It has to, because it was 4-4 before the rain delay with Erin Haynen, and then obviously after the rain delay, they chose to take her out. So Gabby Ellis comes in, gives up the 3 runs after, and then gives up another run in the 7th, and then Michigan kind of just didn't have them in them to mount the comeback. In the bottom of the 7th, they started to get a little something going, and then you had exactly who you wanted at the plate in Lauren Putz, but just flies out to center field, and the Wolverines will take a loss.
She can't do it all. She did a lot today.
She did a ton. She did almost everything prior to that, and the Wolverines just fall short in the first game of this 3-game series, but they still have a chance for the series win in the next 2, and they'll be back here tomorrow.
They will be back here tomorrow. That'll do it for us today, however, on Jaden's last broadcast ever. Jaden, you have anything to say?
Do it for me forever. I genuinely can't even believe it. WCBN's been the actual best. I never thought it would come to this, but it has. This year has been so incredible with WCBN. Zach, the last game we called together before this was literally the national championship game. It just feels like we've had such an incredible year. We've been so many cool places this year, and I've just had an incredible experience. So thank you for calling my last ever game with me. You're one of the best people to do it with. So I'm so glad we got another chance, and it's been incredible.
Of course. I'm so glad it's been an honor to do everything with you this year. I'm glad that I got to be here on your last one.
I'm so glad that you were. It was a fun one. Even though Michigan didn't get the win, we've seen plenty of great Michigan wins in our time calling games together. So
we definitely have, just a little bit.
Just one stands out in particular, but who knows. But anyways, I can't believe this is my last ever WCBN call. It's been literally the best experience ever. I've had so much fun doing this for 3 years in college, and you know, we'll see where the road goes. But as I graduate,
we have not seen the last of Jaden Fode.
No, I'll be back in some capacity. And yeah, it's been fun. So thanks for doing this with me.
Absolutely. So that'll do it for us today. Indiana beats Michigan 8-4 on this rain-soaked afternoon. I've been Zach Warshaw alongside Jaden Fode on our last WCBN broadcast ever. We'll be back with you tomorrow for the second game of this rubber match. We've got 2 more people on it, but that'll do it for us. We'll leave you, as we always do, with Jaden for the last time. Do you want to do it?
I'll do it. Leave you, as we always do, with a good night and a go blue.
Go blue.